That was amazing. That was amazing. That was Ad Fleet hard at work, ladies and gentlemen. I got a new sign over my head. I got a new opening. It must be the 100th episode. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I absolutely love that. Man, I asked her, I said, can you please just put something together, something quick, easy. Don't take a lot of time with it. Here's all I can throw towards the venture. And she came up with an absolute banger. And I am just beyond thrilled with it. Had some time to actually get the new sign up that a viewer absolutely nailed, because now I have the word allegedly over my head. I am protected from all lawsuits at all times right here. It's angelic. See, it's right there. Absolutely wonderful. So if you're looking for an opening, call Adfleet. She will take care of you. She'll take care of you guys. Welcome in. We've got a lot to go over today. I wanted to do just a whole celebratory show, but I can't do that because there's too much news breaking. So I'll get to that as well. You'll see during the opening today holds additional meaning in the world of, I don't want to say conspiracy theories, but the world of just unanswered questions from the government. Fed slop. It's Fed slop. I actually call it Fed slop in the opening. Today's an anniversary of a massive Fed slop event, so we have a lot to cover. So we're going to get to all that over the course of the show, but I hope you guys are enjoying it. For those of you who've been with me for the bulk of these 100 shows, you've seen a lot of development, a lot of investment into the program, bringing on Nurse Casey, bringing on Daisy, development of the studio as we go along, lighting obviously improved, cameras improved, sound is improved. All that's thanks to a listener-supported environment, and I can't thank you enough for that. We've resisted the desire of many to advertise on the program. Not that I don't believe in their products, and I don't think they're great companies, but I'm just trying not to mess with the feel of the program. I feel like we have a special community here, and this works. And I want to appreciate you for hanging in here 3, 4, sometimes 5 nights a week. For those of you that missed the Member Show Friday, Jesse was fun. That was a fun show. That was a really fun show. So if you're a member and you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. I think we went for maybe an hour and a half or more before we started taking questions, and then took questions for another hour or so after that. And we talked about everything. Talked about absolutely everything under the sun. And in addition, I was on Lionel Friday night. So if you didn't watch me on Lionel, go watch that. There's a lot of bearing to catch up with. Lionel and I had a great discussion on the legal aspect of this, not so much the individual facts, but how the facts play into the legal analysis. And that was a lot of fun as well. So if you remember, go watch the Jesse interview. That was great. If you are not a member, you can catch a little Lionel. If you love dogs, you just heard mine in the background because someone came to my house, apparently. Make sure I'm heavily armed before I react. But I am. All right, so let me get to this opening, because this opening means a lot to me. This is something that happened when I was in my development stage. I was, 15, 16 years old when this happened, right in the middle of my high school years. And like many of you, I just sort of bought the Fed slop. I was young. The only channels we had at the time were ABC, NBC, CNN, and maybe CBS, and maybe CNN if you were one of those people that subscribed to cable. But there wasn't podcasting. There wasn't individual blogs. I mean, there may have been Drudge Report, but I don't even know if he was around in 1995. So let's get into it, because today, got ahead of myself. Here is your opening statement. And today marks exactly 31 years since one of the most horrific and frankly unexplained attacks in American history. Despite the official Fed slop narrative of the Oklahoma City bombing, there are a number of unanswered questions that remain, that have never been properly investigated. And before I get to those questions, let me give you the Fed slop version. On the morning of April 19th, 1995, at precisely 9:02 a.m., a Ryder rental truck parked in front of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma City. Moments later, it detonated with devastating force. The truck contained a device composed of approximately 5,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate fertilizer mixed with nitromethane and diesel fuel. When it ignited, it destroyed roughly 1/3 of the 9-story Murrah building, creating a 30-foot wide crater and damaging or destroying more than 300 nearby buildings. The blast killed 168 people, including, tragically, 19 children in the building's daycare center. It injured hundreds more. The total made it the deadliest act of domestic terrorism in the United States history at the time. Rescue and recovery operations continued for weeks. The immediate aftermath saw Oklahoma City Fire Department personnel, law enforcement, and civilians converge in what became known locally as the Oklahoma Standard of Coordinated Response. Official investigations by the FBI, supported by federal prosecutors, concluded that the attack was orchestrated primarily by Timothy McVeigh with significant assistance from Terry Nichols. McVeigh was a Gulf War veteran. He was an anti-government activist. He was arrested shortly after the bombing during a routine traffic stop north of the city. Evidence traced the Ryder truck rental to Junction City, Kansas, where McVeigh rented it using the alias Robert Kling. Nichols, a fellow military veteran, faced charges for helping acquire and mix the explosive components at a remote site in Kansas. Both men were motivated by deep-seated grievances against the federal government, particularly the government's handling of the 1993 Waco siege and the 1992 Ruby Ridge standoff. The two viewed those two incidents as emblematic of authoritarian overreach. McVeigh was also influenced by literature, particularly the book The Turner Diaries. The Turner Diaries was a novel that depicted a truck bomb attack on a federal building. McVeigh was convicted on federal charges, including conspiracy and use of a weapon of mass destruction. He was executed in 2001. Nichols, for his part, received life sentences in both federal and state proceedings. The official narrative portrays the bombing as the work of a small domestic cell driven by ideological extremism and not a broader conspiracy. The FBI's OK Bomb Task Force conducted over 1 million hours of investigation. They reviewed thousands of leads, witness statements, forensic evidence, including the truck's axle VIN number that directly linked it back to the rental. Early media speculation of Middle Eastern involvement, prompted by the 1993 World Trade Center bombing just 2 years earlier, quickly dissipated once the domestic connections emerged. The attack prompted significant legislative responses, including the Anti-Terrorism and Effective Death Penalty Act of 1996. These expanded federal powers in terrorism cases and habeas corpus limitations. That's the official narrative. It's quick, it's clean, it's easy. That's it. Nothing else happened. Look no further. Stop looking. Stop investigating. However, from the earliest hours after the explosion, discrepancies in eyewitness accounts, initial media reports, and forensic interpretations have fueled conspiracy theories. These perspectives do not necessarily reject the involvement of McVeigh and Nichols, but they do question whether there were additional actors, perhaps foreknowledge or technical elements that were overlooked or even suppressed. Independent researchers, journalists, and some surviving family members have examined these issues. These groups often point to declassified documents, early news broadcasts, and unreported witness statements. These, of course, are conveniently dismissed as conspiracy theories. But these conspiracy theories persist in public discourse precisely because there are so many unresolved questions that deserve scrutiny. One prominent element involves a figure known as John Doe number 2. Composite sketches released by the FBI shortly after the attack depicted an olive-skinned, muscular man seen with McVeigh at the Ryder rental agency in Junction City. According to some witnesses, a man fitting this identical description was seen with McVeigh near the Murrah building on the morning of the bombing. Multiple accounts describe this individual assisting with the truck and departing the scene with McVeigh. Federal government even went as far as refusing to release the surveillance footage of McVeigh exiting the Ryder truck. This likely would have shown whether John Doe number 2 actually existed, or if all of the witnesses happened to mass hallucinate John Doe number 2 being both at the scene and looking almost the exact same in all of their minds. It's very interesting to me that no surveillance video exists or has been released of McVeigh exiting the vehicle or of the vehicle exploding. Speaking of Ryder trucks, It's often overlooked that a local military facility was photographed storing Ryder trucks under covered parking. This took place at an Oklahoma National Guard facility known as Camp Gruber. In fact, both aerial imagery and reports from the mid-1990s indicated identical Ryder vehicles were present at the site in connection with Department of Defense or DARPA sensor testing programs. They weren't just storing Ryder trucks, they were practicing, believe it or not, using truck bombs. It's not difficult to see why the proximity of the Ryder trucks, combined with practice sessions involving truck bombs or explosive simulations, might point to military foreknowledge or even logistical support in the Oklahoma City bombing. It's not a wild leap to see these activities as evidence of a rehearsal environment that could have been co-opted or monitored by government elements. The government, of course, denies this. Instead, the government says the trucks were unrelated, nothing more than routine training assets, no documented ties to the bombing. Okay. And then there were the other bombs. Yes, other bombs, meaning bombs that were not in the Ryder truck. These bombs were actually in the Murrah building. Early local television reports and first responder statements described 2 additional unexploded bombs discovered inside the Murrah building after the initial blast. These bombs were reportedly defused or removed by bomb squads. This obviously raises the question of whether the truck bomb served as a diversion or even the primary charge in a multi-device attack. It's particularly noteworthy that seismic data from the event has been interpreted by some analysts as showing multiple explosions, not just a single detonation. The damage itself is yet another issue. Simply put, the damage does not fit the pattern of a truck bomb. Retired Air Force Brigadier General Benton K. Parton, an explosives expert, submitted a detailed report asserting that the observed structural damage, including the failure of reinforced columns, could not possibly have resulted solely from an external ammonium nitrate device of the reported size and composition in the Ryder truck. Parton and others proposed the presence of internal high explosive charges, such as C4, placed on other key supports. And why wouldn't a random and unknown bombing be called in to authorities before it actually happened? A telephone call reporting the bombing to the U.S. Department of Justice's Executive Secretariat took place approximately 24 minutes before the explosion. 24 minutes before the explosion, a caller reportedly stated that the Murrah building had just been bombed. This is not some wild conspiracy theory. Official records acknowledge this call. It is in the official records from that day. It's just conveniently dismissed among numerous post-event hoaxes or miscommunications common in crisis situations. If you're wondering, the answer is no. Of course it doesn't make sense to classify a call from before the bombing as post-bombing confusion, but that is the official Fed slop narrative. That is, of course, not the only apparent foreknowledge of the event. Many accounts claim ATF personnel received warnings and were absent or repositioned on the day of the attack. It's important to note the ATF office was inside the Murrah building. A key source is Carol Howe. She's an ATF informant who infiltrated a white supremacist enclave at Elohim City in eastern Oklahoma. Howe's pre-bombing reports allegedly detailed plans by residents, including Security Chief Andreas Strassmeyer, to target federal buildings. McVeigh, for his part, is documented to have telephoned Elohim City 2 weeks before the attack. He sought contact with Strassmeyer. Whether that phone call was intercepted or part of a government conspiracy is unknown, but the conspicuous absence of ATF employees in their office when it exploded is, to date, unexplained. Then you have foreign involvement. The foreign involvement hypotheses draw parallels to the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. That bombing also employed a Ryder van loaded with a fertilized-based explosive. Terry Nichols traveled to the Philippines in 1993, and his activities overlapped with Ramzi Youssef, the architect of the 1993 attack. Proponents, including journalist Jana Davis, have cited eyewitness reports of McVeigh associating with Middle Eastern individuals and suggesting Iraqi or Al-Qaeda facilitation, possibly as a retaliation for U.S. policies in the Gulf region, similarities in vehicle choice, the explosive methodology. These have all been highlighted, with some extending these links to whether the Oklahoma City attack represented a transitional dry run or tactical evolution towards larger operations like 9/11. Official probes found no credible foreign ties, attributing any overlaps to coincidence or unconnected radical networks. Additional anomalies include reports of multiple Ryder trucks sighted in the area the days before the attack. This has been interpreted by some as decoys intended to confuse investigators. McVeigh has been portrayed in certain accounts as a patsy or a fall guy whose visible actions masked deeper operational support. Following McVeigh's 2001 execution, prison authorities employed a black hearse, allegedly as a decoy vehicle to transport his body. The official story is that his actual remains moved separately in a van. And the official story is that this is somehow a security measure against potential ambushes. Why anyone would ambush a dead man is unknown and frankly defies logic, but that is the official story. Taken together, all these anomalies and uninvestigated or unexplained events collectively suggest possibilities ranging from a larger domestic military conspiracy to government complicity, or even a false flag operation designed to justify expanded surveillance and anti-terrorism legislation. It's not hard to wonder about such things, considering the speed with which the investigation narrowed to just two people, McVeigh and Nichols, the closure of the John Doe number 2 leads, and obvious gaps in the investigation. These are, of course, not the only weird facts about the Oklahoma City bombing. These are just a few. The reality is we don't know what happened at Oklahoma City, and we can't know. We can't know because an actual thorough investigation was never undertaken. Rather, McVeigh and Nichols were just arrested quickly, charged, tried, convicted. And once they were convicted, the case was considered solved. No further investigation needed. That is, of course, nonsense. When something as tragic as Oklahoma City happens, all leads should be explored, regardless of where the leads go. And that's true even if the leads go to the highest levels of government, maybe especially if they go to the highest levels of government. And that is your opening statement. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Wow. I don't know how many opening statements we've done in these 100 episodes, but we've done a lot. I spent a lot of time writing those. I hope you've enjoyed them. If you've never done a deep dive on Oklahoma City, I suggest you do that. Pick a weekend and just get lost. Just start somewhere. There's good documentaries on YouTube that'll just give you some leads to start pulling on. It's important that we learn from history. They say history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And it's important we understand what happened at Oklahoma City so we don't get rhyming history. I think that would be devastating if something like Oklahoma City ever happened again. So I encourage you to look at it. Pull on all those threads I mentioned, and there are many more, believe it or not. I left a bunch out just for time. I figured, write it for about 10, 15 minutes and see what happens. I don't want to do 2 hours on Oklahoma City. It was 31 years ago, but there's a lot out there. There's a whole lot out there that I didn't discuss. Whew. Okay. This was a big weekend. When I got off the air Thursday, we had the big red wall speech coming up Friday. I want to look at that speech. Because some people are characterizing that as Erika's kind of coming out party, and that she is somehow using this to soft launch a potential run for governor, vice president, maybe even president down the road. And I think we deserve to vet anyone who's being talked about like that. I don't think anybody gets a free pass. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water from my amazing Hold Please mug. Available at realbaronpodcast.com. That's the only product placement I'm going to do, I promise. You're going to love it. Oh, we're going to roll out some new merch here probably the next week or so. We're getting together and putting some of the most requested slogans together, and we'll put out some additional merch here in the near future. So, but I think it's important to look at this because it's been my contention that much of the Charlie Kirk investigation probably would not be taking place right now, but for the fact that the organization was inexplicably handed over to someone with no experience that no one had ever heard of and who acted very strangely. I mean, very strangely in the immediate aftermath, and frankly, has not acted any more normally since. And then you start looking into the past and the background and the pattern and the history and all that, and it just gets really weird. So I do want to take a look at her speech. But before we get to the speech, I want to take a look at her opening, her entrance. Drewski made a big deal about the way she entered speeches, fireworks, music, all that kind of stuff. And TPUSA held this event in Arizona. I'm not even going to get into the fact that I think she was in Athens and didn't show up at the Athens event because she said she was scared to travel when she was already in the city. She was at a secured facility. This facility she was headed was secure. I'm not going to get into any of that. We've already talked about it. But this event took place in Phoenix, meaning she had to travel from Scottsdale to Phoenix. Apparently she felt safe. I assume she would feel safe. I think any of the security concerns were either overstated or non-existent. But I was shocked when I started looking for evidence of the speech. I wanted to watch the speech after I got off the air Friday night. People had talked about it. It was going on at the time I was on the air. And I thought, okay, well, now that I get off of the air, I want to go look and see what was the speech all about. And every feed I could pull up just started with her speaking. I thought, how did she get on stage? Did she rappel in? Did she parachute down? Did she rise up out of the, how did she get on stage? Like, you have to get on the stage. Why would no one show me her walking on the stage? And then when I found the video of her walking on the stage, I thought, that's why. That's why. Apparently they don't learn. Apparently they don't learn. I want to show you this. This is very strange to me. I might have to mute it. I'm going to let it go for just a second, but I might have to mute it because I don't know where this music comes from. But let me just show you the beginning of it, and then I'll mute it and let you watch the rest of it. This is a very strange entrance to me.
Please welcome Turning Point USA CEO and Chair, Erika Kirk.
What strange music. What strange music. It sounds a little bit like Jaws. It sounds like Jaws, man. Dun 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 dun. Like dun 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 dun. It's got that. I don't know what it's called in music, but it's like where you're going E to F sharp. Dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's some kind of musical technique. Someone smarter than me probably knows what it's called, but that's what it sounds like. The dun 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 dun. And I thought, what a weird sound. So I'm going to mute it because I don't know where the music comes from. I have no idea if it's copyrighted, but I want to roll through and just show you as she walks out. She's walking out to this weird E flat or E to F sharp sound. And the crowd's going mild, frankly. They stood up because I feel like they felt like they had to stand up, but I don't know, man. It was just a weird opening. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. The music to me was a bizarre choice. Like all the things you could pick to walk out to. The Jaws theme. I mean, it sounded like the Jaws theme to me. But I do have this full speech, and I want to play parts of it. I don't know that I want to play the whole thing, but I do want to play parts of it. And I want you to focus on one thing. Perhaps the biggest complaint I have with her speech. Well, two biggest complaints I have with her speech. Her weird eyes, and that's fine. People can't control it. I guess gays control their eyes do. I feel like I can. I feel like if I was doing this all the time, I could keep it under control. But maybe some people can't. The second thing is the up-talking. The up-talking. She is almost 40. She was born in 1988. It's 2026. She's like 37, 38 years old. My 16-year-old girl doesn't talk like this. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And I just feel like if you're going to force this woman down our throats, you would say, hey, stop with the weird glares, lady. That's really weird. Stop with the weird glares. Stop with the evil eyes, the game day face, whatever you want to call it. It looks possessed. You look like you're manifesting on stage. And learn how to say something without it sounding like you're trying to ask a question. It's a very weird effect, but let me just play it. You guys tell me, maybe I'm being too harsh. I don't want to be known as being too harsh, Let me share it before I play it, because I would never, on my 100th episode, ever let you stare at the side of my face while I watch something and you guys watch me watch it. That would not happen here. This is a high IQ outfit. We don't do things like that. But let me play a piece of this, because if this is supposedly the soft launch of a national campaign of vice president or president caliber, we're doomed. We're just absolutely doomed. There's no other way to say it. We are 100% cooked as a society, a civilization. You know, Donald Trump likes to go on social media and say he's going to end the civilization overnight. This is how you end a civilization. At least Joe Biden at one time was sentient before they put him in there and just sort of did whatever they wanted. But let me get into it. First, a lot has been made of the fact that she's speaking behind the presidential seal. I will admit it's a little unusual. Oftentimes when someone speaks behind the presidential podium, they'll have like a nail hole or some kind of Velcro or something, and this will stick to the podium. The seal will stick to the podium, and they won't put the seal up until the president arrives. But that's not every time. So I've seen this done before, where they'll do a transition right as the speech is about to start, like the president will come out while the other person's walking off, and they'll go ahead and have the seal set up so that people don't have to run on stage and throw it up there and it look awkward. I don't want to make a big deal out of that. I don't think it's worth making a big deal out of.
Love you guys. Over the past 7 months,
First line, over the past 7 months. Are you asking a question, ma'am? Are you asking what's taken place over the last 7 months? Is there a question on the table? Or are you telling me something? Over the past 7 months?
I have seen the worst of humanity.
The worst of humanity? I've seen the worst of humanity over the past 7 months?
But I've also seen the best of it.
And that's about this show. When she says that, she's talking about this show. Not the worst of humanity. When she's talking about the best, she's seen the best of humanity. She's watched 99 episodes, because obviously episode 100 is after this speech. But I'm assuming that's what she's talking about, seeing the best of humanity. She's joined the program. She likes the coverage. She loves our community. She has seen the best of humanity. She's seen people conquering demons of addiction and alcoholism and drug use. She's seen people sharing, losing husbands, losing spouses, losing children, having people pray for them. That's the best of humanity. That's what she has seen, in my humble opinion. Allegedly.
And it's reminded me that every day when you wake up, you have a choice to spend your days focused on what's broken, or you can recognize our freedoms and fight to protect them.
Yes, we can recognize what's broken. For example, the FBI and the criminal justice system, broken. We can also recognize our freedoms and fight to protect them. Like when the president, who takes the stage right after her, comes out and says he recognizes that FISA, the FISA court, the 702 FISA requests are damaging our freedoms and infringing on the freedoms of Americans, and were used to spy on his presidential campaign. Nevertheless, he wants to renew them for some reason, even though he campaigned on getting rid of them. So I recognize our freedoms. I am fighting people like you who are supporting the president. I'm fighting people like you. I'm fighting the president on that issue. I don't want that FISA renewal. I don't want Americans being spied on. If I pick up the phone and call someone, I don't want the federal government listening without a warrant. I think that goes without saying. We should all want that. The president used to want that, and I don't know why he doesn't want that anymore. So thank you, Ms. Kirk, for pointing that out. I'd like to commend her for supporting our position against the president on FISA abuse.
As Americans, we are all privileged to live in the greatest country in the world.
No offense to our friends in the Balkans and Australia. That's just something we say a lot. and we do believe it, but we're not trying to rub it in your faces. We recognize almost a third of our audience is from overseas, but allow us to be jingoistic for just a moment, if we can, please. Celebrate this great country.
Is it perfect? No, it's not. Do we have problems to solve? Of course.
And for some reason, she starts interviewing herself, and I don't know why this happens. People often, when they're speaking, start interviewing themselves. They ask the question, they answer. They ask the question, they answer. I'm not a fan of that tactic, but that's okay. I'm willing to allow it because at least when she's up talking, it serves a purpose. She is actually asking a question and not just making a statement that sounds like a question. So I am going to forgive her on this point, and I encourage her to interview herself more often. She does a good job.
Of course we do. But our country?
Our country? Our country? Well, yes, ma'am. Another question?
Is the best that we have.
Oh, no. It's just a part of a statement. I apologize. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
And I do not want to lose it. If you look around the world right now,
I don't understand why someone can't stop the up talking. I don't understand why someone can't get a hold of her and say, listen, when you make a statement, the last syllable is below the previous syllables in tone. If it's above that in intonation, then you're asking a question. In fact, if you listen to any language tapes, I'm actually studying a foreign language right now on an app. And in this particular foreign language, the questions are just statements. There's not a do you or did you. There's just you just say the fact, but you say it with an intonation where it goes up at the end. In written form, you'll see punctuation. But when you say it, when you speak, I'll use a Spanish example since a lot of people speak Spanish. If you want to ask somebody, I don't know if I might get this word wrong, but if you want to ask somebody if they understand something, entiende, right? Entiende. Do you understand? If you want to say you do understand, it's entiende. Entiende. See the difference there? You go up. Entiende? Do you understand? Entiende. You understand. It's not a difficult concept to master. Most people by age 4 have figured it out, but not everyone, apparently. Not everyone has figured it out by age 4.
Europe has surrendered itself to third world criminals, and under the Biden administration, we were on track for that for ourselves. But President Trump came in and course corrected.
And I will say this, I agree wholeheartedly with her. The shutting down the southern border is probably the president's single greatest accomplishment in his second term. It seems to have resolved for the most part. And that's to be commended, right? A country has a right to defend its borders. So I am one to say credit where it's due. There is credit due there.
In countries like Nigeria, radical Islamists are murdering Christians for their faith.
Are you asking us if that's true? Radical Islamists are murdering Christians for their faith? I see. And this is where the intonation gets me. I can't tell if she's back to interviewing herself or if she's just talking. This is important if you're going to be standing behind a presidential seal in a power suit and tennis shoes for some strange reason.
In Canada, they'll tell you you're better off getting medically assisted suicide.
I cannot be the only one hearing this. I got to believe Justin Strife and Tyler Boyer and Andrew Colvett. Andrew's supposedly a PR guru. I cannot believe Andrew Colvett listens to this and says, good job. Well done. Nothing to solve. Nothing to solve. Medically assisted suicide? In Canada? They say you're better off getting medically assisted suicide?
Than believing in the sanctity of life.
Oh, see?
While in America, we understand that a free life is worth living.
Yeah.
But there is nowhere else on earth, nowhere
and don't step on the applause lines, but that's okay. She's new at this.
else on earth like the United States of America. There is not. And with this powerful combination of freedom, the ability to live your life with your faith openly, and the chance to build a life, nowhere else like it. And nowhere else I would want to be, and I'm sure you guys feel the same exact way.
I'm going to take issue with that. We get into this mindset as Americans, and it's I guess it's just part of our pride. It's just something we do. But we get into this mindset that America is singularly a place where you're allowed to practice your faith. I would argue that there are a lot of countries where you're able to practice your faith. A lot. Like Jordan. I don't hear a lot of people in Jordan saying, I just can't practice my faith. I think they're majority Muslim, obviously, and that might not jive with her desires for Jordan. I don't know what her plans are for Jordan or the administration's plans or our greatest allies' plans. But for right now, I feel like most people in Jordan feel pretty open to practicing their faith. Most of the Western world is that way. Like, is anyone in Hungary saying they can't practice their faith? Is anyone in Poland saying they can't practice? I just don't. I don't grasp that line that we are singularly unique that way. But I'm not going to nitpick it too much. I understand what she's doing. She's just throwing red meat out. This is build the red wall. We're going to have some red meat. I get it. I don't want to get too caught up in that.
But that didn't just happen by accident. It happened because generations have fought and sacrificed everything for it. And because all of us, as a united front, said enough is enough and showed up to vote for President Trump in 2024. Amazing. We said.
Again, stepping on the applause line, but I don't want to get to the mechanics. I want to get to the merit of what she said right there. I voted for President Trump in 2024. I got stabbed in the back. I got lied to. I'm very deeply disappointed in my decision at this point. I've taken his picture down off my wall. It's not up there. Someone accused me today of just covering it up. It's not there. The picture no longer exists. It's gone. It's crumpled up and in a trash can somewhere. I'm very deeply frustrated with that. And I don't feel like voting for President Trump had anything to do with preserving faith in America in the year 2025. The fought and died for thing, I know this is something we say because we're extremely proud of the people who offer the greatest sacrifice that can be called on, which is to lay your life down for someone else. But I think about these generations of people that died, and I look at the countries they've left behind and that they died for, and I wonder if this is what they had in mind. Like, is England in 2025 what the soldiers in England in 1945 had in mind? I wonder if France in 2025 is what the soldiers in France in 1945 had in mind. And I wonder, frankly, the same thing here in the United States. If the soldiers who died in 1945 envisioned what we would be living in 2025, it at least part of me thinks the answer might be, in some cases, no. I just have to believe that, because the world we're in now is a completely fundamentally different world than we were in at the time. And you can get fired, banned from social media, in some cases imprisoned for speaking about your faith in a very honest way. So I hesitate to agree with that, and I hate that. I wish I didn't, because somebody signed up for the military or was drafted in the military and went and died. And you'd hate to say it was in vain in some way, but I feel like to some extent, at least some of them were.
Enough was enough. And I'll never forget after that election. I know none of you will either. Charlie's sitting there. He was going through the numbers. He was going through the maps. He was looking at all of the data points. And he said to us, he goes, "This is it." He said, "The red wall." He said, "If you can secure Arizona, Nevada, and New Hampshire, and you're investing into these states and not just into these races," he said, "their maps will collapse and their strategies will fail." And it inspired us to no end. Totally.
I'll also add that Charlie was fighting for his freedom. He felt like he was going to go to prison. He's told a professor that at a recent tour stop before he passed away. that's why he was so invested in the race. That's why he was so relieved when it became obvious at the end of the night on election night 2024 that Donald Trump was going to win. Because the Biden administration was planning to put him in prison, at least investigating him, and was planning to charge him. I don't think it was solely because of tax policy or any of these other issues. I think there was some selfish motive to that, and I don't blame him. Frankly, if I felt like I was going to go to prison, I would be highly invested in the outcome of an election.
Really inspired us. But we don't get to just sit back and admire that win from 2024. We have to fight to protect it. Every day, that's right. Every day. And Arizona is home for me. I was raised here. I fell in love here. I got married here. We're raising our children here. And we're not going to sit back and just watch this state or this country be completely torn apart. Completely torn apart. We're not going to watch that because they want this state. They want this state, and Turning Point Action will fight to defend it. And I refuse.
And this is why I wanted to play this. If you don't want the country torn apart, then you should propose policies and support policies that are popular with the country. You don't launch wars that 40% of the country supports. You don't launch wars that are opposed by a majority of your own political party, much less nearly all of the other political party. Particularly wars of choice, wars that weren't necessary. One of the great ironies of the last couple of weeks has been watching the Trump administration and his supporters congratulate themselves for opening the Hormuz Strait when the Hormuz Strait was open before they launched the war. It's amazing to me. You know, who would have thought that 2-3 months ago we would say, "Wow, the Hormuz Strait is open. That's amazing." Well, it was open, right? It was already open. It was open. Ships were flowing through it. No one was bombing any boats. No one was being fired on. There were no transit fees. Everything was fine. If you don't want the country torn apart, don't act on policies, particularly expensive, multi-billion, 10 billion, 20 billion, 50 billion, 100 billion, unknown duration policies that involve deadly force. Don't kill 150 schoolgirls who just woke up that morning and wanted to go learn math. Don't do that. And the country won't be torn apart. The country, I don't think, was torn apart before that. I think that singular issue tore the country apart more than any other issue. President Trump 2.0, at least the second term, was going much smoother than the first term. If you remember the first term, there were constant riots, constant marches, constant division. Up until the Iran war started, the country seemed to kind of be clicking along. Everything was going fine.
I refuse to let California.
I refuse to let California? I guess that's an homage. Maybe that's an homage to California, because that's where the uptalk allegedly started, in the Valley, because the Valley girls, they spoke that way. And for some reason, now 37-year-old women in Arizona speak that way.
Become Arizona. Not.
Wait, hold on. You refuse to let California become Arizona. Did I hear that right? I didn't catch that the first time. Hold on, let me listen to that again. Is that printed wrong? Let me listen one more time.
I refuse to let California become Arizona.
Wait a minute. California is a deep blue state. Arizona's went for President Trump. I think you would want California to become Arizona. I'm very confused. Hold, please.
Not happening. Not happening. We don't want.
I think the crowd is even confused. They had like 7 people like, woo! And everyone else is like, wait, what? I thought we wanted California to be like Arizona.
Arizona to elect people like Eric Swalwell.
Okay. I see what she's saying. She just got confused. She refuses to let Arizona become like California. That makes sense.
No, we don't. No, we won't. But I will say, unfortunately, we do have his best friend, Ruben Gallego, here, so we have some work to do.
Now, for the record, I've never heard of Ruben Gallego. I don't know whether I should be booing him or not. Sounds unpopular, at least in the room.
But seriously, though, I do not want a country to look like the protesters outside.
I can't stop at every uptalk example because we'll never get through this, but please, Tyler, Andrew, I know you guys watch occasionally. Can you guys please stop this? Just call her. I know it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. I don't know if she's going to like throw a glass of wine at you or something. I don't know how she acts when you criticize her. But maybe she'll give you those eyes she gives when she says Jesus. Maybe she'll like start boring holes through you. But can you please just review this tape with her and say, all right, every time you said this, don't do that. Do anything but that. Any other vocal tick, do that. But don't do to look like the protesters outside
Who are celebrating the murder of my husband. I do not want a country like that.
And maybe they are, but are people still celebrating the murder of her husband? I think everybody pretty much roundly rejects that by now. Maybe, I don't know. And I am asking a question. Are people, do they really do that? I don't see that. I don't see that. Maybe there's some sickos out there, and to the extent they exist, they should stop.
So let's not forget how quickly things can go in the wrong direction. We just lived through 4 years of corruption dressed up as compassion. 4 years of that. You remember when?
I think she thought there was going to be an applause line there. It was like, what does that mean? Corruption dressed up as compassion. I mean, I remember the corruption. I don't remember anybody dressing it up as compassion. I don't remember that. I don't think anyone else did either. They were all very confused by that line. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Andrew Blake, who wrote that?
We had Christian pro-life activists being persecuted for their beliefs.
Ah, look, it even added a question mark. You see that? The captions added a question mark. We had pro-life activists being persecuted for their beliefs. Well done, closed caption guy. Or is that automated? If it's automated, it's even better. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I didn't catch that the first time either. I've only watched this twice. This is only the third time I've ever seen this. That is so funny. Oh my gosh. Being persecuted for their beliefs? Question mark.
Remember when concerned parents were getting targeted by federal law enforcement just for showing up at their school board meetings? Remember Laken Riley? I do. Remember wide open borders? 500,000 people poured into this state alone, thanks to an administration that didn't care about stopping them. And now, 452 days into the Trump administration, look at what has already been done. Look at it.
Now, this is actually very smart. If you're going to be at a Trump rally, you have to drill down on the border. That just has to be done. You cannot really talk about anything else. You have to stick on the border. It has to be border, 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 border. You run hardest where you're strongest. Like if you're running a race, you run on the issue that you're strongest on. If you're running in a new area and you're from Springfield, Illinois, and your district has 5 other cities in it, but you're from Springfield, everybody, you run in Springfield. You lock down Springfield. You get 85-90% of Springfield. You worry about the rest of it later. I actually have an example of this from my career. We had a guy, what year was this? 2014. He was from a little town in Alabama called Valley, Alabama. And his district included Valley, and it also included a town called Opelika, which is kind of the sister city of Auburn. And between Valley and Opelika, if he tried to run in both areas, he would just get smothered. Like he would just get crushed because nobody knew him in Opelika, and he knew absolutely everybody in Valley. He born and raised there, went to church there, whole family went to school there. Dad, granddad, his mom was a school principal. Like everybody in Valley knew this guy. And nobody in Opelika had ever heard of him. And he was running against a guy who was well known in Opelika, but that guy made a huge fatal error. He tried to start running in Valley. And so we built the Valley Wall. She's talking about the red wall. We built the Valley Wall. Our guy never left Valley. He never went to Opelika. We just forfeited it. And we thought, well, we'll either win or lose a close one. But if you try to run in Opelika, you're going to lose big. And he ended up winning 90+% of his home ballot boxes. 90+%, which in a primary is like, you almost have to cheat to get there. We did not cheat, for the record. And he won like by 5 points. And he only won about a third of Opelika. 90% of his home ballot boxes. He won. You run hardest where you're strongest. You don't take on this multi-front war in a campaign. It's just not something you could do. So this is actually very smart strategy. I don't know if this is the Trump administration told her, hey, when you give your speech, just talk about the border. Don't talk about anything else I've done, because everything else I've done is a complete disaster. Just talk about the border. Everyone agrees we're in a better position now than we were.
There are accomplishments. And yes, there is more to be done, but my husband and all of you fought for this, and we achieved it. Thanks. And now we have to show up again with.
She sounded like that's going. And now we have to show up again? Really? It's already been 2 years? Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, you got to fix this, Tyler. Tyler, Andrew, Justin, Blake, you guys got to fix this. This is not going to work long term.
80 to 90% voter turnout in the midterms and fortify the red wall for the next decade. That's what we need to do.
And here's where I warn them that this is not going to go well. I think 2026 could be an absolute disaster. Obviously, as a lifelong Republican, I'm not rooting for that. But at the same time, I recognize reality when I see it. And I refuse to run headlong into a hurricane. If you're going to govern against the wishes of your party, don't expect your party to get excited to go out and vote for you. Just don't. Like, if you're going to launch an unpopular war in a foreign country, when you ran on the idea that you would not do that, and when you then refuse to end the war, when it becomes obvious you're losing, don't do that. And if you do that, expect to lose. Now, I wonder about the long-term viability. If I'm a turning point person and I want Erika to have long-term viability, I wonder about putting her in situations like this. Because if they go get crushed, guess what? They didn't get crushed when Charlie was alive. Republicans have basically been, except for the Joe Biden election, which was an anomaly because it was mail-in ballots and it was COVID and it was, 81 million votes and all that. Just it looks stolen to me. But the middle of the night counting jump and all that good stuff. But other than that, Republicans have basically been romping since Charlie Kirk came on the scene in 2012-ish, right? I mean, they won 2016, they won 2018, should have won 2020. I mean, a lot of irregularities that year. 2022 they won, 2024 they won. If you then trot her out here, and Republicans get absolutely smothered, it's going to be really a bad look. It's going to be like, well, when Charlie was the face of the youth vote, we had really good results. We made this thing the face of the youth vote, and people were confused. They didn't know if she was asking a question or making a statement. She was stepping all over the applause lines. She was wearing tennis shoes with a power suit. It was a very weird time in American history.
But at the same time, you have people out there who are actively trying to tear this country apart.
Yeah, it's called the Trump administration, actively trying to tear the country apart. And that is the unfortunate reality. They're the ones pushing the unpopular positions. They're the ones fighting the unpopular wars. They're the ones starting the unpopular wars. They're the ones. You can't just expect everyone to fall in line just because you're in elected office. When you run on a particular position and then you stab everyone in the back who supported you, you cannot expect us to just line up and get excited to go vote. That's not tearing the country apart. That's just recognizing reality. And you can try to blame us for this. It's your fault. You're the one who turned your organization exactly opposite of everything your dead husband supported. So don't blame us when things go wrong. We're not actively trying to tear the country apart. You guys are tearing the country apart. You're not actively trying, you're doing. You're actively tearing. You're actively doing it. So don't try to shift the blame because your policies suck. Don't try to shift the blame because everyone recognizes what you're doing isn't working. You can't, this is not how you lead. You don't just force people. You don't make fun of people. You know what they've done? They've tried to kick Candace out of the movement. They've tried to kick Tucker out of the movement. They've tried to kick Alex Jones out of the movement. They've tried to kick Megyn Kelly out of the movement. Well, guess what? Those are the most popular people in the movement. They're way more popular than she is, Erika. They're way more popular than any of these people. Not only did they kick Charlie Kirk out of the movement, he was actively removed from life entirely, not just the movement. So you've taken the entire movement, you've given it 4 flat tires, and now you're expecting to go run in the Indy 500. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Those are your tires you have to run on. Ben Shapiro isn't winning any races. They're not. No one's voting because of Alex Cooper. Not Alex Cooper. That's not what I meant to say. Brett Cooper's or Alex Cooper. I don't say who it is, but it's a family member. What's the Alex girl's name at TPUSA? I can't even think of her name right now. She's so irrelevant. No one's voting because of these people. No one's voting based on these guys. You know who can turn people out? Candace, Tucker, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones. That's why you guys won in 2024. That's why you guys won in 2016. You did not win because of Erika Kirk. You did not win because of Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro actively tried to get Trump defeated on multiple occasions. Mark Levin actively campaigned against Donald Trump. That's who you're counting on to win this time. And you told everyone else they're not welcome. Well, guess what? Those are the people I like. Those are the people that if they told me, you know what, for the good of the country, we need to vote for these people, I'd think, all right, well, maybe I'll reconsider. But when you tell people, oh, you're still asking about the Einstein files, I don't want your support. You're not MAGA. Okay. You don't have it then, because I'm still asking about the files. I want to see more of the files. I want to see the JFK files you promised would get released and never got released. I want to see all the files that you said were going to be released that weren't released. I want to see the 3 million more files. I want them uploaded into iancarrollsweb.io, and I want to be able to search them, and I want to be able to ask questions about them, and I want results. That's not tearing the country apart. What's tearing the country apart, what's tearing the party apart, what's tearing the movement apart is you guys insisting on 100% fealty, or you are removed from the movement. That's what's tearing the country apart.
They love to start fights, dividing us all against each other.
Dividing us all against each other? Are we asking questions? Are we back to interviewing ourselves? What are we doing here? I don't see a question mark. No one's starting fights. No one's starting fights. What we're doing is insisting that our elected officials govern the way they campaigned. This is something we've long advocated for. This is something we continually don't get. I didn't vote for George Bush the first time. I voted for Harry Brown, the Libertarian candidate, but I did it because I was in Alabama, and that was basically a protest vote. I voted for him in 2004. But in 2000, he campaigned saying, no more nation building, no more of this nonsense. We're just going to take care of ourselves. And then he immediately goes in and launches multi-front wars. We voted for Trump, no more nation building, no more unnecessary wars. He immediately goes in and launches a multi-front war, essentially. That's what's dividing us. That's what's starting fights. Then we say, we'd like to see these Epstein files. You're gone. Get out of the movement. Oh, okay. We'd like to see the rest of the JFK files. Get out. And if you like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, or Alex Jones, we don't want you. Okay, well, that's like most of your party, sir. That's most of your party. They don't uptalk. They don't talk like Valley Girls. These are effective communicators who understand issues and have been relevant for decades. This is not somebody no one had ever heard of 7 months ago, who's now standing behind the presidential seal lecturing me. I'd never heard of you 8 months ago. And I consider myself pretty informed in the conservative movement. I've been around a long time. I never heard of Erika Kirk before Charlie died. But she's going to lecture me and tell me that I'm not allowed to ask about the Epstein files. I'm not allowed to ask about the JFK files. I'm not allowed to listen to Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, or Alex Jones. And if I listen to any of those people, I'm not welcome. And if I ask about any of these files, I'm not welcome. Okay, have fun. Enjoy that red wall. More like I don't even know what it is. A red line, maybe, that people can just walk over?
Spreading negativity.
Is it negative to point out the up-talking? I mean, is like she's saying that people are spreading negativity, and I'm making fun of the fact that she said spreading negativity? Am I being negative by saying that? I don't think I am. I don't think I'm being negative. I'm not trying to be negative. Just pointing out reality.
All to get clicks and influence the algorithm to maximize profits.
That bothers me so much. This clicks and profits and all that. That is such nonsense. Your company is hosting a podcast called The Charlie Kirk Show. He's dead. Not to be morbid, but your husband's dead. Not to be morbid, your husband's dead. And they're hosting a show called The Charlie Kirk Show. You're telling me that's not done to influence the algorithm or maximize profits? You sold hats at his funeral. And then 6 days later bragged about how many hats, or then 5 days later bragged about how many hats you sold. You told people 2 days afterwards to go open up chapters. Like most people would be unable to stand up. You stood behind his chair and promoted the business.
Meanwhile, building is hard. Getting out the vote, talking to real people, spiritual revival, that's actual work. That is actual work. And my husband, Charlie, gave his life for that work. And what gets built lasts for generations long after the noise has run out of one-liners.
It's funny that she gives a one-liner and then talks about the one-liners being, I guess, negative in some capacity. I really notice I'm not talking about her eyes. I'm not focusing on her appearance. I don't want to go that route. There's too much red meat in the message alone. This is so tone deaf. This is such an obvious misreading of the room. You ever find somebody like that? They walk in a room and they don't read the room well. Like they don't, and they just start like they show up at a funeral and they're drunk and they're carrying a chili dog and they're drinking beer and they're laughing and everyone's crying. They're not reading the room. You're not reading the room. You don't understand the problem. You don't understand the problem.
No one understands this better than President Trump. No one. No matter what they throw at him, he perseveres in the face of adversity because the mission is too important.
I want to point out nobody's cheering for these lines. You notice that? Those are obvious applause lines that were written in there, and they probably even say like pause at the end of the line or whatever. But no one is cheering. Like even in this room, I think the man is deeply unpopular. Or at least people are suspicious of him. Like she just complimented him in a grandiose way. And everyone was like, it's a little weird. If we're being honest with ourselves.
Because this country is worth fighting for, and he is not alone in this fight. And we are blessed to be Americans, and we are going to fight like it. And ladies and gentlemen, there is no one else I'd rather have on our side than President Donald J. Trump. God bless you guys.
All right, that's all I got. That's all I got. I mean, I've got more show, but that's all I got on this. I was so disappointed in this speech. This was so tone deaf. Don't lecture me. Don't lecture me. Don't lecture me. Don't come out here after you've kicked us all out of the movement and then shame us for not slobbering all over you. That is, I don't think I'm exaggerating. That's like probably the bottom 3 introductions he's ever gotten in his life. Like, I'm short of throwing up on yourself or crapping your pants, I can't imagine doing a worse job at this moment in time introducing the President of the United States. Whoever wrote that speech should be ashamed. She should be ashamed for delivering it. Whoever prepped her on that speech, they should have read through it a few times. I mean, I read through my openings a few times, and I'm talking to you. I mean, not that you guys aren't something, but I'm not introducing the president. No one read through that with her. I'm like, whoa. That's not how we're going to do this. That's not the tone we're going to take. No. We're going to be more positive. We're going to kick it up a notch. We're not going to shame people because they voted for a man. Like, if I'm writing that speech, I'm acknowledging the elephant in the room. I understand we're at war, and he told us we weren't going to be at war. But my husband, Charlie, he had faith in this man, even when they disagreed on foreign policy. You should too. I mean, give me something. Give me some reason to not feel like I feel right now. But to tell me that I feel like this and it's my fault and I'm dividing the country and I'm going to ruin the world if I don't come out and vote? What? Huh? That's all you got? That's the best you can do for me right now? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? All right, I got a lot I wanted to cover. I had no idea I'd be an hour 9 into this thing and not have done literally anything else. Let me go into, I'm going to skip a section. If I have time, I'll come back to it. Let me go to the hearing from Friday. I didn't watch all of it. I watched some of it. I'm going to summarize the best I can. I've got a news piece pulled up here, and I do want to look at this, but I kind of want to summarize where I think we are in this case, both sides. When I say we, I mean as a country, and everybody's watching this. Prosecution, defense, it's playing out in front of us, but the rest of us have a vested interest in the truth. We want to know what happened. Remember, we want to know who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. And a couple of things popped up. There were 2 broad questions they're trying to resolve. One is, should cameras be in the courtroom? That doesn't really get to the heart of who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. Just, are we going to be able to watch as they try to figure that out? The second one, I think, does get to the heart of it. And the second one, the state tried to portray it as a discovery dispute. And if you're not familiar with the legal system, or you're not American and don't understand our legal system, discovery is we trade information before trial. You know, in TV, I don't have any glasses with me, but in TV, we like to have those Perry Mason moments where you rip off your glasses and you show them a document they haven't seen. Well, that doesn't really happen in trial because you have to turn over all your stuff. I mean, occasionally there might be some rebuttal thing that you've not yet shown them, but it's very rare that you hit somebody with something they haven't seen at trial. And the reason for that is because we want the truth. We don't want gamesmanship. We want to know, like, is that person guilty? Should we put them in prison for the rest of in court? We talk about deprive them of liberty. Should we deprive them of liberty or life? Should we take their life from them? And we want to make sure that everybody's had a fair go at it. There's a rule in the rules of criminal procedure in Utah that says that there's an ongoing duty as the prosecution is made aware of the existence of certain documents. There's an ongoing discovery duty to turn those over to the defense. So it's positioned, I guess, as a discovery dispute. That's what the prosecution wants the judge to believe. This is just a mere discovery dispute because a discovery dispute may not be ripe yet. But that's not the question. It's not a discovery question. The question is more basic. We're going to have a preliminary hearing. It's either going to take place in May or it's going to be kicked off a few months. My guess is it'll probably be kicked off a little while. But we're going to have a preliminary hearing at some point, and a preliminary hearing is meant to clear a single hurdle. I'm trying to be in the middle here. This is like the middle. The burden in the middle here is it more likely than not that the person charged committed the crime? If the judge finds that the prosecution doesn't meet that very modest burden of basically 50%, more likely than not, if the judge finds that the prosecution's down here, that it's not more likely, that he committed it than did not commit it, then the judge doesn't have to let it go forward. In fact, he has a duty to not let it go forward. He has a duty to get rid of the charges and say, go get some more evidence and try to bring charges again later if you want to, or you can just go away and do something else with your careers. We don't care, but you can't charge this guy with this information at this time. So that's kind of where we are. We're going to have a hearing at some point. It's called a preliminary hearing in Utah, and more than 50% likely that Tyler Robinson did it. It will go forward. We'll eventually have a trial, or if it falls below that standard. And so there's a question that the judge has to entertain, and that's what the hearing was about. Does the defense have everything in their possession that they need to prepare for that hearing? That's all. That's the only question the judge, I think, really has to consider. Do you have everything in your possession that you need to prepare for that hearing? The prosecution gave us a little preview of what they intend to do. They're going to do a 4-prong approach on this. They're going to show that the weapon that was used is the weapon that they found. In other words, the 30-06. They're going to try to prove that by using FBI and ATF testing on the bullets, on the gun, so forth and so on. So that's kind of one prong. Prong 2 is his alleged confessions. I will submit to you, I don't see the confessions the same way they did, because at one point, the prosecution, they didn't proffer. It wasn't really a proffer, but they sort of summarized the confessions as, I shot Charlie Kirk. Well, that's not what he said. He didn't say that at all. That never came up. I had an opportunity. I took it. Okay. Maybe that's the closest they have. He inferred to his parents he was involved. That's not quite, I killed Charlie Kirk, and that's the only thing he's charged with. He's not charged with being involved. He's charged with taking the shot. So you have this multi-prong approach. They're going to introduce all these different things that they think get at probable cause. He was in Orem. Okay, well, a lot of people were in Orem that day. He was seen on campus. Well, a lot of people were seen on campus that day. He's on camera. Well, a lot of people were on camera that day. And then they said, we have a video of him walking up the stairs with a gun in his pocket. I could see no gun, but they're saying that they believe he has a gun in his pocket because of the alleged limp. Well, okay, maybe, I guess. But is that more likely than not that if you see a guy limping that he has a gun in his pocket? I mean, is that the conclusion we draw when we see, if you see someone limping down the road, do you immediately go, he must be armed? He's got a long rifle shoved down his jeans. Or do you think, maybe he hurt his ankle? Maybe he's got one leg shorter than the other. Maybe he's got a bum knee. I saw a guy limping at church today. I didn't assume he was armed. And so their contention is this multi-pronged approach is plenty to survive this sort of medium burden of probable cause. So the judge is left with these two questions. Do we let cameras in the courtroom before the trial and during the trial? That's kind of question one. And question two is, do we go forward with a probable cause determination? Do we go forward with a preliminary hearing, or does the defense need additional time and potentially additional information in order to be prepared? The defense is saying, yes, we need additional information and we need additional time. The information we need is the actual reports from the ballistics, from the gun and the bullets. We need those reports in order to give them to our experts so that we can challenge that evidence if we deem it worth challenging at the preliminary hearing stage. The state countered that and said, even if we don't go that route, even if, and I agree with the state on this, the burden is theirs on what they produce. They don't have to produce anything about the gun. They could leave the gun completely out of it and say, we're just going on confession and presence and cameras. That's it. We're going to say that he said he did it. He was in town and we saw him on camera. And they might be able to survive probable cause just based on those three things. I don't think they're confident they can, because they plan on introducing that fourth leg of the stool, which is the ballistics, the gun, and the examination from the ATF and the FBI. And so the judge is left with this really, I think, interesting question. It'll be interesting to see how he resolves it. Because if the prosecution claims, as they do, that they don't even need the gun in order to go forward with the probable cause hearing, but they intend to introduce the gun evidence anyway, then why are you introducing it if you don't need it? Because you're introducing this gun evidence, but you're not sharing the reports with the defense, and you have an ongoing duty to do so. Well, this raised a really interesting argument I've never heard before. Yes, these reports were due in September or produced in September. The ATF and the FBI both have these reports. But because they haven't yet sent them to us 7 months later, we don't have them to turn over. Now, in a military court, that would never fly. One thing I practiced a lot in military courts as I was practicing law and doing defense. The one thing I like about military courts is you don't talk about the prosecution and the defense. You talk about the government and the defense. And there's case law, and the UCMJ says that anything the government has, the prosecution is deemed to have. I love that rule. I love that rule. I wish they would adopt it in all state and federal courts. Because the prosecution can't play this stupid game where, oh, yeah, they're reports. They exist. They've been drafted up. They're over. The ATF has them. The FBI has them. When we get them, we'll send them to you. But we don't have them yet, so we can't give them to you. No. In a military court, you would say, go get them. You have them because the government has them. They're in government possession, which means you, prosecution, are imputed to have them. They're in your possession because the government is one monolithic organization. And if the government has something, you have it. I love that rule. I love that rule. Apparently, that's not the rule in Utah because they are drawing a distinction between the FBI and the ATF and the Utah County prosecutors. They're saying, but judge, we don't have them. The ATF has them. And they haven't given them to us. And we're under no duty to ask for them. And we're under no duty to go get them. And so we're under no duty because we don't have them. We don't fall under this URCRP Rule 16 in Utah that says we have to give them what we have. I think that is the lowest down. I don't know if Judge Graff is seeing how low down and dirty that play is. I thought it was low down and dirty. It doesn't strike me that they're overly confident that those reports are necessarily going to support their position. I know they've got a headline out of TMZ that said the bullet matches. You got to read a little more carefully. The bullet matches, meaning they think it's a 30 caliber round or the 30 caliber round. All that means is that it's 0.30 inches around. That doesn't mean it came from a 30-06. It could be a 300 Win Mag. It could potentially be a 308. That's pretty close to a 30 caliber round. It could be any number of different types of 30-06. It doesn't have to be the Remington 30-06 that allegedly was fired from that round. So to me, what I learned in this hearing was the prosecution's case is infinitely weaker than I even thought it was. This is not how confident people act. Confident people don't play games like this. If you have evidence that Tyler Robinson did it, produce it. Produce it. Don't summarize, don't characterize his confession as saying he shot Charlie Kirk when he never admitted that in anywhere that I can tell. Not a single, you will never be able to produce, not one that's been released publicly to date, not one that's been released in a search warrant or in the probable cause affidavit or the statement of facts supporting the information. Nowhere can you find a statement from him that says, I shot Charlie Kirk with a 30-06, or even I shot Charlie Kirk at all. That doesn't exist. You can say things like, you can see things that he inferred, he implied, I had a chance, I took it. But think about this. Let's say he was involved in a 10-man conspiracy. There were 10 people from his little local gaming group or whatever, and they all got together and said, we're going to take out Charlie Kirk. He said, great, I'll be the getaway driver. Let's just say that's it. And he thinks if we get pulled over and I'm the getaway driver, I should leave a note for my furry roommate. And so he writes on the note, I had a chance to take out Charlie Kirk and I took it. Meaning I had a chance to be part of something bigger than me. I had a chance to be part of a group of people who were plotting to remove Charlie Kirk, and I was not going to pass that opportunity up. It would read the same way. And so I would argue that doesn't even reach probable cause. When you go to the fact that his parents turned him in, what does the probable cause statement say relative to them? He implied or he inferred to them that he was the one who did it. Well, an implication or an inference may not rise to probable cause. It might not rise to more likely than not he did it. Again, it might just mean that he was part of a group of people who did something. And so I don't think you're going to find anywhere where he says he did it. That wasn't you, was it? Yeah, it was me. I did it. You did what? You pulled the trigger? Or you were the getaway driver? Or you supplied the gun? What did you do? Because he wasn't charged with being the getaway driver. He wasn't charged with supplying the gun. He was charged with pulling the trigger. He was charged with climbing up to the Losi Center and pulling the trigger. So even on the statements, I think it's close. It's a close call. It's certainly not mountains of evidence. It's not overwhelming evidence. Now let's go to the cameras. What do the cameras show? Well, we know from the probable cause statement, they lost him on camera for like 10 minutes, maybe 15. They see him walking on campus with a limp. Again, lots of people walk with a limp for various reasons. Maybe he twisted his ankle in a sewage grate on the way in. We don't know. We actually see him walking downhill at one point before he turns on the road where Phil Lyman's family's house is. Before he turns on that road, we see him walking down a hill, and he doesn't seem to have a limp to me. If it is, it's very modest. Doesn't look like a limp. But then we do see someone, presumably him. They're saying it's him. I don't know why they're saying it's him, but they see someone limping down that road. And then after that, all we get are stills. After that, all we have are still images. Now, they claim they have video, but we've not seen it. We see still images of someone who kind of, sort of, maybe looks like him. Sort of. I guess. I mean, they have this, they're white people. They kind of have similar structured, maybe a little. Their ears look a little different. Their chins look a little different. They certainly stand different, but people stand different ways. But they have these still images, and they claim they have the video footage of him walking into the Losi Center, but then they lose him. He goes in the Losi Center, and he disappears. They can't find him. Not on camera. Not that they've released, and they have no stills, and their probable cause statement says they lose him. Then they find him again. He reappears, and he goes up on the stairs. And then they lose him again. They lose him from the camera. He goes over off to the side, and he's no longer visible. And this is like 8 minutes at this point that he's no longer visible. And so you have these massive gaps. And what you get is the figure that they see on the Losi Center roof is a little bitty grainy figure dressed in black. It could be a short black girl. It could be a middle-sized Hispanic guy. It could be a gigantic, tall Filipino woman. We'd have no idea what that thing is on the roof. It could be anyone. No one can look at that and say, that's Tyler Robinson, 100% guaranteed. Promise it is. Swear on the Bible. Well, you'd be foolish. Might end up in hell. You can't swear on the Bible that's Tyler Robinson. And remember, they lost him. They lost him on camera. And then they said they see someone lay down and take a shot. I'd be interested to see how visible that is, because the camera we see, I mean, it's just teeny tiny. I mean, you might see someone move into that position, but can you see someone necessarily take a shot from that? And so again, does that rise to the level of probable cause? I don't know. If I'm the judge, I don't know. And so the ballistics become a huge part of my analysis. If I have a gun that matches, maybe we'll get there, especially if it's his gun. And look, I mean, I'll be honest. If a guy owns a gun and it's used in a crime and he was at the scene, probable cause. Let's let a jury figure it out. But if the gun comes back and it's inconclusive, if the gun comes back and it has 5, 6, 7 different fingerprints or DNA profiles on it, if the gun comes back and we don't know if it's been fired, if the gun comes back and we can't really tell, the bullet comes back, we can't really tell if that bullet goes to that gun, can you send that to a jury? Is that even fair to send to a jury? I don't know. I honestly don't know. And so I think there's this notion in popular culture, at least across broad swaths of X and podcasts, where it's an open and shut case. It's guaranteed, 100%. Tyler Robinson did it, mountains of evidence, his gun's at the scene, his DNA's on the trigger. Why aren't we frying this guy yet? Well, this is why. This is why. And I would suggest that the fact that the prosecution has not yet called the FBI and the ATF and said, hey, we need those reports. It's been 7 months and they're done. You have them. And you've not given them to us. And we're going to a probable cause hearing in the next 2-3 weeks. And we've got to turn these over to the defense, and their experts have to have an opportunity to look at them. What are we waiting on? I'm telling you, it does not strike me as a position of strength. It strikes me as a grave position of weakness, and that they're hiding this, hoping to get around the problem I see here. And I'm going to pull up a piece of this. I don't want to cover this whole article, but I do want to cover a piece of it that talks about some of the testimony that was given during the hearing the other day, because I think this is in my opinion, pretty compelling testimony that we're not crazy here. They like to tell us that we're nuts. Everybody likes to say that we're the problem and we're conspiracy theorists and all this. I'm going to show you something. This is a defense survey, but a defense expert did a survey of Utah County adults, people who are in the jury pool, not on the jury panel, but at least available to be called to a jury. They're voters, not felons, whatever. And this is what the survey found. They surveyed 200 people. That's pretty scientific for a county the size of Utah County. According to this survey, 99% of those questioned had heard of the Robinson case in some form, with only 3 saying they didn't know anything about the case. So 99% of Utah County, or within a margin of error, we can say 94 plus probably percent of Utah County has heard of the Tyler Robinson case. 64% believe Robinson's guilty. Do you see the problem I see if you're the prosecution? Of those, half believe he should get the death penalty. Edelman also said that only 25% of residents are watching the court hearings on live stream, while the majority of those polled are watching television news coverage. So 36% of people are unwilling to say he's guilty. Do you understand how problematic that is for the prosecution? We're told there are mountains of evidence, that it is open and shut. It is obvious. Ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest to you that on most cases of national importance, the number of people in a given county where a crime like this took place that believe the person that's charged is guilty is north of 90%. Maybe 95%. This number is so low. This number, if I'm the defense and I get that back, I probably go out and get a cookie cake. Maybe some strawberry sherbet. We're going to have a party. We've got a shot, ladies and gentlemen. Death penalty lawyers always lose. That's just the fact. They always lose. Why? Because numbers never look like that. They never look like that. The numbers are always like 95% of people think your guy did it. Almost always. Keep in mind, you just need 1 out of 12. This suggests as many as 4 out of 12 may not think Tyler Robinson's guilty going into the trial. A third or more of a jury of 12 may not go in predisposed to believe Tyler Robinson's guilty. Because here's how a typical trial works. 95% of people, 11 out of 12 or all 12 jurors show up and believe the guy's guilty on a case like this. Then the prosecution gets to do their opening statement first. By the end of their opening statement, the guy's already fried in their mind. Like they can smell him. They can hear the skin crisping up. They know what's going on. Then the defense comes up and they says, well, we're going to poke a hole here and we're going to show you this. And you might not have considered this. And you might get a little wavering here and there. Maybe. But then the prosecution gets to put on their case in chief. And by the end of the case in chief, the guy's cooked again. Like he's toast. And that's, frankly, why so many people are convicted, why the prosecution's conviction rate is so high. They got all the cooked-in advantages. They've got the guy getting arrested. They got to get him perp walked. They got him mugshotted. They got news coverage saying he did it. They got the governor coming out and saying, we got our guy. They got the president of the United States saying, there's a mountain of evidence. We're pretty sure he did it. They got Jack Posobiec tweeting every 5 minutes. I saw a leftist shoot Charlie Kirk. It's Tyler Robinson. He's guilty. They got Charlie Kirk show. They've got Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff every day saying, oh my gosh, it's so obvious. And more than a third of the county cannot say that they believe he's guilty. It is a master problem if you were the prosecution. Might be the type of problem where you would not want to turn over all your reports because they're not as open and shut as you're telling everyone. And you like the fact that people are running around saying all this stuff. So you're only going to release stuff that's favorable to your case. And frankly, right now, it's not working. It's not working. So I Look, I don't know who killed Charlie Kirk. I don't know how they did it, and I don't know why they did it. I got my suspicions. I don't believe Tyler Robinson took a shot from the Losi Center with a Granddaddy's 30-06. I don't believe that's the case. In fact, I'm pretty confident that's not the case. And that might be the holdup with those 36% of people who are unwilling to say he's guilty because they just think there's no way that 30-06 did that. There's no way. It's unheard of. Anyone who shot a 30-06 is probably going, I'm not too sure about this case. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Why is his head still on his body? Why did his neck not just have a giant explosion out of the side of it? Why did it look like it just like a can opener went in there and opened him up? What happened there? That's not a 30-06. But that's my summary of the hearing. I had a whole lot more I wanted to say about it, but that's my summary of the hearing. Now, my question, my instinct on the judge, whether he's going to let cameras in the courtroom, I think he probably is, at least for the trial. I think surely for the trial, the cameras will be invited into the courtroom. On the preliminary stuff, I think he'll go one of two ways. Either he will ban them during the preliminary stages, or he will let them in for the bulk of it, but anything close call, anything pretty sensitive, he's going to ban them for that portion of it. I think one of those two things will happen. I doubt he's just going to say, everyone needs to get over it. We're going to have cameras in at every stage of this thing, and you guys better just be ready for it. Maybe. I mean, that is the rebuttable presumption in Utah courts, is that cameras are allowed in the courtroom. They're public environments, and if you can walk in off the street and listen, why not just be able to listen via camera? What's the difference? I mean, Elizabeth Lane was in the courtroom the other day. She would be allowed in the courtroom whether there's a camera there or not. And I understand she has some devastating reporting coming down the pike. Devastating. I talked to her. I'm not at liberty to discuss what we talked about because she's putting her report together, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good report. I'll say, when I say good, I mean good reporting. Not good for, I'm not going to say that I think it's good for this side or good for that side. It's good reporting. It's the type of reporting journalists are not doing in this case. And she did it. And she did a good job. And it'll be a devastating report for the prosecution, I think. But if you are allowing courtrooms in it, if you're allowing the public in at any stage, and you have to, it's a public court, you have a right to a fair and public trial in this country. If you're allowing the public in at any stage, what's the difference between the public and a camera? So let the camera in while the public's in. And if there's anything that has to be done in camera, in other words, without the view of the public, then we'll just kick them out and we'll have that portion of the hearing without them. We'll turn the cameras off. And we'll make sure the people who own the cameras are also gone. And only court personnel and the defendant will be present, and the lawyers. So I think the judge may go that route. I don't think he'll just allow all aspects of everything to be recorded, not at the preliminary stage. But that's sort of my summary of the hearing. I don't think it was particularly eventful, other than the fact that they're refusing to get from the FBI and the ATF reports that they would then be duty bound to turn over to the defense. For whatever reason, they don't want those. It's been more than these reports have been done since September. They don't want them. They don't want them. Because if they get them, they got to turn them over to the defense. And apparently there's something in there they don't want the defense to see. And if they use them in trial, then we'll all see it. Or they use them in the preliminary hearing, we'll all see it. And there's something they don't want us to see because they know what we know. Less than 2/3 of the people surveyed, fewer than 2/3 of the people surveyed, believe he's guilty. And that is a huge problem if you're the prosecution at this stage. Guys, I appreciate you joining me for my 100th episode. I hope you like the video. I hope you subscribe if you are not a subscriber. Statistics still show about 1/3 of the people who watch our live streams are not subscribers. They also show the vast majority of people who watch it do not like the video, and shame on you. Part of that's because I don't do a very good job of asking you to like the video. So I'm begging you now, please like the video. It's great. Sends the video out on the YouTube algorithm, really helps push it up the meter for other people to have an opportunity to take a look at the show should they want to. Anything else? No, I don't think so. If you want one of these beautiful mugs that say "Hold Please," realbaronpodcast.com. We'll be rolling new merch out in the next week or so. But there's plenty of good merch up there now. The Hold Please sweatshirts are a very heavy, thick, durable sweatshirt. The RBP sweatshirts are more of a medium sweatshirt. And so if you want a lighter weight sweatshirt, those RBP sweatshirts may be a better fit for you. All right, let me get through some of these comments here. We got a bunch of them. I'll get to as many as I possibly can. I promise you that. You say you started following the case after others couldn't reproduce the shot, not going through him. For me, I kept an eye on it after the texts. If the texts aren't true, there's reasonable doubt for you. Happy 100. Agreed. I agree with that. If the texts are weird and they deserve to be examined closely because they don't look like they were written by the same person. I'll be interested if he takes the stand, if he says, I didn't write those. I don't know where they came from, but I didn't write them. I'll be interested. Congratulations on your 100th show. So grateful to have found you in this community. Always find a little comfort knowing there's still some good guys out there. Well, there are a few of us out there. Thank you. I'm watching your backlog of lives. In 28, you were covering August 25 DC to Colorado Springs flight, Sam 000, and I immediately thought of Victor Marks. Thoughts? Call sign eventually changed to Sam 658. I think Victor Marks looks very suspicious in this case. I'm not by any means suggesting Victor Marks was complicit. I'm just saying he looks very suspicious. And I think he's worthy of a deeper dive. I wish I'd listened to people who were earlier telling me to look into him. I'd resisted because I thought he's going to lose the governor of Colorado. Why do we care? Congrats on 100. Congrats to Mrs. Queen Coleman for behind-the-scenes support and prayers. Christ is King indeed. She is the GOAT. There's no doubt about that. So proud of you, B. Thank you, Laney. Appreciate that. Yes, yelling congratulations on 100th episode. I love you and the entire family. My Baroni dog. Christ is King indeed. Indeed. Thank you. Very kind. Thank you, Glitter. Glitter on your face. That's an interesting approach to glitter. Oh, my word. I nearly had a stroke waiting for Baron to return to his humble audience. Much respect, as always. It's only been 2 days. Calm down. I never take 3 days off. Well, I did one time. Hey, B, happy 100th. Been here since Google Trends. Wow, you've been along a long time, Dee Dee. Never missed. You rock, sir. Thanks to Daisy, Casey, and the fam as well. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. Congrats, Baron and Queen Coleman. Well-deserved. Christ is King. Thank you. You guys are very kind on this 100th episode. Very, very kind. Baron, love the show, and I have my mom watching, and she hit me with hold, please, the other day. Can you please give a shout-out to my mama bear, Becky? Pronounced Becky. I believe you. Keep going, Max. Hey, Becky. Hey, weird thing that happened the other day. I'm coaching my kids' ball team and baseball team Saturday morning, and afterwards, we're playing a team from not out of town, but I mean a neighboring town, maybe 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away. And they were coming over, and they played a game, and we had a good time. They stomped us, but whatever. But we get done with the game, and we're sitting there, and this lady walks up to me. She says, "Are you my humble host?" I was like, "Yeah, shh, don't tell anyone." And so we took a picture. It was great. She was a great sport. I don't want to out her by name, but to all the people over that town over there, she said, "We're huge over there." She said, "We're huge over there." She said, "You may think you're huge in the Balkans, but you no." Oh, that was Becky. Hey, Becky. Congrats, Baron. Say hello to my sister, Gail, in New Zealand. Christ is King indeed. Gail, howdy. That's how we say it down here in the South. Howdy. Hey, Baron, it's my birthday. 44 years old today. Happy to celebrate with your 100th episode. You are a young lady, Kristen Dallas. 44 years old. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy 100th. Wow. I've never seen Lionel so lit up before. That was an awesome conversation between you two. Thank you for always going, Max. Christ is King. Nice intro. Yeah, the intro's dope. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was so much better than I expected when I asked Fleet to put that together. I wanted to roll it out for the 100th. I was hoping it'd be done by today, and it was. She did a great job. I so wanted that done for today, though. And man, when I saw it, I was like, wow, it's even better than I thought it would be. Not that I didn't have faith. But that Fleet's amazing. Bob Kavoyan of Bob and Tom Show passed away Friday. Prayers for family and fans. You know, Bob Kavoyan, this is 2 stories about Bob Kavoyan real quick. Bob Kavoyan, well, maybe more than that. Bob Kavoyan is one of the reasons you know of me. I am such a fan of Bob Kavoyan. I like Tom Griswold. He's fine. But I'm a Bob fan of Bob and Tom. Bob and Tom were on local Q95 radio when I was a kid. And I thought, I fell in love with radio through Bob and Tom. This is before Rush. This is the mid-'80s, 85, 86, 87, 88, in there. My parents loved Bob and Tom. They bought the albums. They bought the tapes when they had tapes. My dad had Bob and Tom posters hanging up in the house. Like, we loved Bob and Tom as a family. And Bob Kavoyan and I share a birthday. Yes, that's correct. Bob Kavoyan and I share a birthday. And I loved Bob. He was always behind the controls and he looked so in command. And I kind of fell in love with radio through Bob and Tom. And then Bob and Tom, when they got famous and went national and their studio changed, it changed the character of the program a little bit. But they added Christy and Chick as kind of full timers. And then Bob finally retired. And then shortly after that was diagnosed with stomach cancer and finally passed away. And it's just devastating to their community. But yeah, without Bob and Tom, without Bob Cavoy and Bob and Tom, you might not know your humble host. I might not have fallen in love with radio at such a young age. Awesome intro. Thank you. Thank you. Happy 100th, Baron. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind. Very kind. Baron, congrats on 100. By the way, look up Brian Voltaggio, best chef in the world, and you were the best at telling the truth. Thank you, my friend. Love you. I believe you about the chef. Baron Coleman and WrestleMania at the same time. I'm going to assume rocked up means you're like at a rock concert. You're rocking out. You've got long hair. You're doing your head banging. I'm assuming that's what rocked up means. Please, I hope that's what it means. Don't tell me it means anything else. Me again. Oh, welcome back, Mr. Walker. Small reminder, Brian Harpole said on the Sean Ryan show, they started planning security for the Utah event in earnest on August 24. And the next day was that weird flight. Yeah, we covered that extensively. Back on episode in the 20s somewhere. Congrats on 100, Baron. You remind me a lot of my dad, who we lost to ALS. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a tough disease. You're a true joy. It's an honor to be part of this high IQ outfit. Thank you, Mrs. Coleman, Daisy, and Nurse Casey for the sacrifices. Here's to the next 100, sir. Love the opening. Thank you. Thank you. The next 100 should be even better. Happy 100, Crisis King indeed. Thank you. Ad Fleet, love this. Yes, that was Ad Fleet. It was amazing. Happy 100th. You are an amazing man. God bless you, and thank you for sharing your life with us. Love the intro. I feel like I spend most of my life right here in this seat. A big chunk of it these days. So I do share my life with you. Grooviest hold music out there. Happy 100. Man, it was flawless. Flawless. Now there's Ad Fleet there. She's right here. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Baron. I'm so honored to have been able to make this intro for you. You're so generous and wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You, Ad Fleet, are generous and wonderful with your time. You are a great contributor to this community and have become an integral part of it. So thank you for your time. Thank you for putting that together. You absolutely smashed it. I mean, all I told her, I didn't even give her that much instruction. I just said I wanted something kind of funky. It's funky. It's funky. Walking through Trader Joe's, dancing and smiling. Don't care. Great song. Oh, you got a TJ's there? I love TJ's. My daughter goes there a lot. Baron, happy 100th episode. It's also my birthday. 55 years around the sun today. What a beautiful day it's been. Well, the flat earthers are going to fight with you over that. Christ is king indeed. Don't get them all wound up, Lizard's Lair. They come out of the woodwork and you can't get away. I meant to say, look at Brian Voltaggio. Oh, I look like Brian Voltaggio. Was that an insult? Is he old? That's every time someone tells me I look like somebody, they're old. Oh, this guy doesn't seem too old. How old is this guy? He's 50. So I'll take it. At least he's not like 73 or however Woody Harrelson is when you told me I look like him the other day. That's a good looking guy. I'll allow that. I'll allow it. I've been told worse. Congrats on 100 episodes. Any thoughts on why multiple people on X were calling Trump King Lear mad? Seemed coordinated, but from people I usually like. I only trust you and Candace. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. I didn't see it at all. So I have no idea why that was happening. Happy 100th episode and too many more. Appreciate all the effort and time that you, Casey, and Daisy put into the show. Looking forward to your opening statement. Not whelmed with hearing. Keep going, Max. Yeah, I'm not either. There were a couple things that definitely did not leave me whelmed with the state and the defense, frankly, but I didn't want to cover all that. Edge, hilarious when Lionel says she's the doyenne, the first lady of Grand Dame, #1 diva, and you say she's the GOAT. So very high IQ. Hey, I dropped a $9 word. I said Erika Kirk was mendacious. I did say that. But she's the GOAT. She's the GOAT. It is very high IQ. Talking about Candace being the GOAT. SOS now stands of Secretary of State. Baron, let's make it happen. Thanks for all you do with the best disposition to boot. Christ is king. Indeed. I'd be a very good Secretary of State. Better than these clowns going over to Pakistan getting their teeth kicked in every week. I'd end this war in a week. I'm just telling you. I would end it in a week. I wouldn't have got us in it in the first place. My incredible diplomacy skills would have kept us out of it. Congratulations on 100. I'm glad you stayed with those dang Google trends. We need you, brother. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. Yeah, who would have thought when I was doing Google Trends? I remember when I started doing shows not Google Trends, and people were like, well, you're the Google Trends guy. Go back to Google Trends. And I was like, I want to do other stuff. Like, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. There's a whole lot of stuff I want to talk about that are not Google Trends. And yeah, you guys hung with me. Most of you didn't even watch back then. Congrats on 100 episodes. Keep up your great work. What you do? What did you say helped to improve your eyesight? I remember hearing you talk about it in a previous episode, but I can't find it. I hesitate to say it because then people are going to use it, and if someone gets hurt, they're going to blame me, and I don't want that. I'll only say this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not recommending anybody do this, but I took something called DMSO for my sinuses, and I noticed my eyesight improved. I didn't make any connection at the time. I drew no conclusions at the time. Years later, like in the last year, this was 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. I'm old. Years later, just in the last year or so, started seeing more and more people saying DMSO can improve eyesight. I don't know the protocol for it. I don't know anything about it. I don't even remember really what I did. I remember rubbing it in my nose and snorting, but I don't like it. It's a solvent. It's just like an industrial solvent. I don't recommend it. I don't want to be the one telling people to use it. So buyer beware, do your own research, talk to your doctor, all that good stuff. I can't give you any more disclaimers. Happy 100th episode, Baron. Keep going, Max. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Today's the 31st year since the Oklahoma City bombing. Please keep families in mind. We'll never forget. Oh, I might not have got, that's only at 5:04. I might not have gotten to my opening by the time you said that. I was very confused. I was like, I did a whole opening on. Oh my goodness, the intro, not yelling, just excited and helping your eyes. Happy 100th episode, Baron and community. That's kind of a backhanded compliment there, Sonny Amy. I'm writing in all caps so you can see it, old man. That is exactly the spot I was thinking of. Love the opening and congrats on your 100th episode. We all thank you, your wife, your kids, Daisy, and your sis. I'm sure there are others. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. There are others. New opening had my 1-year-old dancing up a storm. Happy 100th episode. Yeah, I might have to listen to that again tonight. I would bump that going down the road, except it has my name in it, and I would be embarrassed if somebody heard me listening to that. Now, you guys can. But I can't. I cannot. Congrats on 100. The new intro is supposed to get my high IQ gear tomorrow. Good. You're going to look good in it. AdFleet, not only dropping generous contributions, but now blessing people with memberships. Dropping 5 membos on your head. Loving the Bull Butter Yellow for Sunday Funday 100th episode. Christ is king indeed. Yes, this is Bull Butter Yellow. This is what Bull Butter looks like. Aiken Resident here. You're doing God's work. May he bless your family with abundance and health. Christ is king indeed. Funny Aiken story. I got involved in a criminal case years ago, and I was told Strom Thurmond Jr. was working on the case. And I mean, if you know Strom Thurmond, he was like 100 years old at the time. So I just assumed Strom Thurmond Jr. might be like 75 years old. He was like 30. Apparently, Strom Thurmond had a baby when he was very old, because Strom Thurmond Jr. was a very, very young man. How old is he now? Let me look him up. And he's from Aiken. That's why I mentioned it was in Aiken, South Carolina. Strom Thurmond Jr. He was born in 1972. So he'd been like, was 22, he'd been 40 maybe at the time. This has been probably 2012ish when I did that case, maybe 2010 even. I don't know. But yeah, he would have been young. And I was shocked because when was Strom Thurmond born? Strom Thurmond was born in 1902, which means he'd have been 70 when he had Strom Thurmond Jr. Was Viagra out by then? How did that happen? It must have been. That'd be one of the first Viagra babies. I can't think it. I mean, he's 70. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. He looked old. He looked old and out of shape, like when he was 50. Baron, love the opening. Been here since Google Trends. Thanks to Ian. Congrats on 100 episodes. Thank you. Thank you. Ian did a lot for this program. Very thankful to him. Always will be thankful and indebted to him. Baron, hold please. I thought my brother also had photo posters of RFK, and he did. So I'm mailing you one. Won't go out for a week from Monday. You might hold off on getting the other poster framed. I will do that. I've got it sitting right here ready to go out. I just never leave my house. But next time I leave, I will. Actually, no, next time I leave, I won't. Because I'll wait and see what you got on the other one, and I'll compare. But thank you, Cohen Film. Very, very kind of you to do that. Whenever I tell anybody that I got this and it was actually at the rally where he was killed, people are in awe. People are like, what? Really? Yeah. Got great listeners. Baron, what are your thoughts on Ben Twiggs Hogan? I was watching his videos on Dom's show. Gives me USA Chant Guys ex-post vibes. Love your show. Christ is King. Indeed. I can't give you all my thoughts on that right now. Weird guy, obviously, but I can't go into that in depth in the middle of comments. But I do intend to do a little deeper dive on the Twiggs family at some point. There's a reason I'm holding off on. Happy 100th episode. Absolutely love the Wait music video. Had me doing a little dance in my seat. Thank you for all you do, Baron. You are amazing. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. Congratulations, Baron. You're the man. Adfleet outdid herself. Just delightful. Agreed. Well, not agreed I'm the man. Agreed she outdid herself. Thank you for the compliment. Keep going, Max, Mr. Coleman. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever get the full story on 910. Do you think they will let TR testify? Lionel and I talked about that a little bit. I think so. I mean, there's no impeachment testimony that I'm aware of. Why wouldn't you let him testify? Unless he's just a bumbling idiot and he's going to fry himself up there. But, I mean, if he's going to say he didn't do it, put him up there and say he didn't do it. I think you don't have much to lose. I've been looking forward to this all day. Happy 100th member for 3 months. Been with you since Google Trends. Friday on Lionel was excellent. More of that. Thanks for all you do. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. Yeah, let me say one more thing about Lionel. A lot of people thought I was bored. I was not at all remotely bored. I wasn't upset. I wasn't irritated. I just I was listening intently. He asked like 4 questions at once. You got to categorize them in your head and like take notes to know, not making fun of Lionel at all. He is full of information. And so he's asking you to respond to like multi-part questions. And so I'm sitting there trying to, I make outlines in my head when people are talking, and I was making outlines so that I could check off the boxes and make sure I responded to everything he asked. I wanted to be a good guest. I love Lionel. Great guy. May God continue to bless you and use you for his purpose. Thank you. Very kind of you. Congrats on 100, allegedly. Wife and I, freedom from corrupt. I've been here from the beginning. Christ is King indeed. Enjoyed you and Jesse interview. Yeah, if you didn't check out the Jesse interview, go do it. If you're a member, go watch the Jesse interview. Here's why. We didn't talk about Charlie Kirk at all during the interview. We did a little during the comments. We just chatted, and it was awesome. Like, it was awesome. We talked moon landing, Artemis 2 mission. I don't remember what all we talked about. A little MMA discussion, which I know nothing about. I just let him talk. I don't remember what all we talked about, but it was a fun conversation. I looked up and like an hour and a half was gone like that. So that was a great conversation. If you are a member, you should go watch that. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for that. Your Majesty, King Baron. Yeah, I'm listening. Just wanted to say that Lionel's live Friday live was fantastic. And yes, even though I'm not a fan of Jesse, that was a great one. That one was great as well. Can't wait for tonight's episode. Why would you not be a fan of Jesse? I don't understand that. I love Jesse. Like, I think his broadcasts are great. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's a very talented broadcaster. Great energy, entertaining, makes me laugh. What's not to like? Happy 100th episode. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. Very kind. Jesse and Lionel shows were great. Been a viewer since the first time Ian mentioned your Google Trends. Congrats on 100. What do you make about the EK speech at the podium with presidential seal? I covered that earlier. I hope you heard that answer. I tried to cover it. I don't make much of it. I don't make much of it at all. Baron, love the new opening. I love our community. You, sir, are the best on-air person. I love you and your family. I'm going to drink to that. It's just water. In fact, I'm going to fill it up again. I love these mugs. They got big handles. That's what I love about them. Sometimes you get a mug and you can only get like 3 fingers in there and it's unstable. Not this beauty. Look at this. 4 fingers in that bad boy. What a great handle. What a great handle. That's our best seller, by the way, the mug. And it's not even close. Not even close. Like, nothing else even touches the mugs. Which makes sense. I bought 4. Prayer and fasting challenge for truth. Set a date for us and let's all do it together. I'm not opposed to that as in theory. I'm not a public prayer. And I really feel like I'm not a public faster either. Like, if I'm fasting, I don't like to tell everybody. And so I hesitate on things like that. Like, I'm happy to, if someone asks me to pray for them, I'm happy to say, of course I'll pray for you. And I usually try to pray right on the, or start the prayer right on the spot. But I'm not a huge, so I get it. I definitely understand it. I get it. I think it's a wonderful spiritual practice, spiritual discipline. But I'm very hesitant to do things like that publicly. Happy to be part of this great community. Want to tell you about my office chair too, made by Hag. It's called the Capisco chair. Perfect for sitting for hours. Look it up. Might help a lot. I've looked at the Hag Capisco. It's the one without a back, right? Let me look at it. Oh, it has a back. Yeah, this is the Joe Rogan chair, the Hag Capisco. Yeah, I've seen this chair. And I've looked at it. I've priced it. They're proud of them. I'll tell you that. They're very proud of that chair. They'll set you back a paycheck. That's a good chair. Good chair. I'll look at it. This is for Baron to pay Fleet back. Also, happy 100th episode, gang. Thank you. Fleet's amazing. She's outdone herself. Congrats on 100, Baron. Proud to be here for the momentous occasion. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Lived in Oklahoma City at the time. Media was horrific. I can only imagine how horrific. Yeah, it's tough. Love the intro. You're awesome. Such a joy and refreshing time spent with everyone. Christ is king indeed. I'm tempted to leave I usually clip the intro out when I post it, but I'm tempted to leave it in tonight just because it's brand new on the intro song and I think it's funky and people should hear it. I have to decide on that tonight. Unalive became, you have become an adored voice in all of our homes. You created a group where people share everything from celebration to grief. You had a sandwich and had a child named after you. You helped bring many home to Christ. Bless you and happy family. Bless you and family. Happy episode 100. Boy, that's a humbling comment there. Thank you. That's all I can say to that. Thank you. Those are very kind words. Yeah, my sister was gobsmacked at someone named a child after me. And I thought, well, they have to pick a name. You know? That's a great name if I do say so myself. I'm from Oklahoma City, live pretty far from downtown. It shook our windows. Keep going maximum max. Christ is king. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you too. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. That's amazing that like I know people around here felt the AES blast. We're like 60 miles away. I love the new opening jam. My first super chat, put it towards a new chair. Pro tip, buy the new version of the one you have. Congrats on 100. Christ is king. This has been a great chair. This has been a great chair. Herman Miller chair. And I like it quite a lot. It's so old it like throws me forward and I have to keep scooting back. I've sat in this thousands and thousands of seat hours in this seat. But thank you. That's a very generous contribution. Thank you. Congrats on the 100th. Yay, been here since the first Google Trends show. Never missed a single live since. You feed my forever curious mind. Thank you and all your fantastic crew. Thank you. That's a real commitment. Thank you. Nicole, thank you. Very kind of you to gift memberships. Happy 100, Baron. Going back to the beginning, please tell us what you think of the 5 most condemning Google Trends searches. Jesus is Lord. I'm gonna put the doctors all together. I think the fact that they Googled at least 7 surgeons at that hospital within a 2-week period is pretty devastating evidence. The medical examiner was pretty devastating. Obviously, Lance Twiggs being searched overseas from our greatest ally and in DC like 2 or 3 years before tells me that he might be a long-term op. The judge, I mean, just name it. Everyone's in there. Go back and if you've not gone back and watched those shows, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Maybe I'll do a summary of the Google Trends shows. I know a lot of people have not seen those. Happy 100, Baron. Your soothing voice relaxes me every night when I go to bed. Wake up, Jacqueline. Don't fall asleep listening. Got information to discuss. My number 1 favorite podcast, then Candace and Ian. FYI, I like your podcast. First thing I do in watching. Love from Canada. Canuck Bucks. Thank you. Happy 100th, Baron. Amazing opening fleet. Correct. I love this high IQ outfit. Every live and member show is a must-see. Thank you for being you. Thank you for truth and authenticity. Go Max. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Congratulations on your success. Well deserved. There were 303 members when I started listening in September. Wow, Alpaca Renee. I knew you'd been around a long time, but I did not know you were that early. That was like friends and family early. God bless and protect you and your family and all working to uncover the truth. I worked with my bomb dog during the Nichols trial in Oklahoma. Memories. Wow, really? You've been around a long time. Congratulations on the big 100. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. Okie here. Go Survivor Tree if you get the chance. Oh, go see the Survivor Tree if you get the chance. I don't know if I'll ever be in Oklahoma City. Maybe. When was the body armor theory debunked? I must have missed an episode. Talking about Charlie wearing body armor? All the I'd never believed that. All the time. You can see his nipples. You can see his spine. I mean, there's no body armor. I've always never been a believer in body armor. Super sticker, thank you. First time I've got you live. Go Max, love you platonically, of course. We love Play-Doh around here. Yellow, pink, all of it. Big fan of Play-Doh. Love the Jesse interview. Thank you, Edith. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Very kind of you to say that. With the Icelandic currency. Love intro regarding Aiken flights. Thoughts that Charlie's clothes were taken there for trace evidence analysis. Explosive, possessed radiological, mic, and or necklace more plausible than gunshot. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that. I didn't want to say it out loud, but you did. You sure did. Happy 100th. Blessed to have you, Daisy, Casey, and the Coleman family. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. But Baron, I'm a 47-year-old with 6 children that's been redeemed, forgiven, and spirit-filled. I love your show and can relate. Thank you. Thoughts on BH placing fragment in CK wound? It's definitely crossed my mind that somebody placed something in his wound because those fragments don't make sense any other way. That's not a 30-06 wound. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's not. I mean, maybe you could find some expert out there that could convince me otherwise, but not these clowns on social media. They never have. Girl, you rock. Great job. Baron can give this one to you. Thanks for all you do and your videos. That's the ad fleet, by the way. Dorinda, thank you. Ad fleet's amazing. No doubt about it. Congrats on your 100th episode, Baron. It's been a fantastic ride so far. I agree. It's been fun, and I'm glad you guys are here with me. You make it worth doing. I would not be doing 4 shows a week without you. I can assure you that. I was frantically DMing Ian on Instagram, telling him to go watch this guy on YouTube with 1,086 subs, talk about Google Trends. Needless to say, Ian never opened my DMs. Congrats on Hundo. By the way, still no back pain after my confession. Lana, that's amazing. I'm telling you, you need to document this. This is honestly miracle territory, like verifiable miracle territory. You need to document that. That's amazing to me. And thank you for sharing the message about the show with only 1,086 subs. Thank you. B, Christ is king indeed. Happy 100th show, not birthday. Yeah, not my 100th birthday. I hope I'm not still here doing it at 100th birthday. Well, maybe. See, maybe I'll be real healthy. I send you very important information on flock cameras. I have possible FBI links that match flights along with flock info on suspects. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. I'll check into that. Duly noted. Denise. A woman of few words, but but a lot of generosity. So thank you. Very kind. Always look forward to your show, Baron. Ready for the belly laughs. Thank you. Baron, congratulations on episode 100. You guys are amazing tonight. Thank you so much, Cat Lady. That's super kind. Can we see what the rest of your studio looks like? Nah, because then I got to move my camera. It's not that impressive. It's just, it's not much. It's some lighting, bunch of sound panels, some sound dampening curtains, some blankets back there to eat some sound from the corners, a big wooden desk with a giant sound mat on it. You can see this, right? Yeah, this credenza that has the books on it to stop the sound from hitting that wall and coming back. There's a bookcase over here you can't see. Maybe that's the only thing that you can't see that's of any value. And then I got some personal stuff that I really don't want to share. That's just personal to me on this wall over here. Like a cross-stitch thing my mother gave me when I was born. It's got my birthday on it, my name. My wife's Auburn degree is hanging up. Some old license plates off my cars. Some awards my kids won. A cross-stitch my grandmother did in 1984 that says, "See no evil, hear no evil, don't give a hoot." It's got owls doing this. I'll show you that. That's awesome. This is the kind of stuff I hang on my walls. I like personal stuff on my walls. See no evil, hear no evil, don't give a hoot. It's got her initials and the year on it down there. Isn't that amazing? I love that. Yeah, she passed away in 98, I think. 98. I'm pretty sure that's right. But I mean, it's just not a big room. It's a tiny little room. Tiny little room. And even this tiny little room was tough to sound treat enough to do a show. And then a bunch of computer monitors and sound equipment and computers and stuff that run the show. An intro fit for a king. Congratulations on 100, Team B. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind. Had to like the video before it began because the opening song told me to do so. And I'm not acting slow or being a Joe. Love the new opening. Yeah, I thought it was great. King of the African safari, the brave and fearless lion would never drive under the influence, but a tiger would. Okay. Okay. I promise Donna just told her eyes, and she's not very amused by me right now, and she thinks she's funnier than me. Oh, she just rolled her eyes. Oh, that means you're back together. Oh, no, you're not back together. You're just guessing she rolled her eyes. Go Max, Christ is king indeed. Harvey, I'm rooting for you, brother. I'm rooting for you. Baron, I so enjoyed your live with Lionel on Friday. Listening to the both of you is a double high IQ outfit. Lionel needs to publish a word of the day calendar. Congratulations on 100 episodes, and thanks for all you do. Christ is king. I agree. I always need a dictionary to listen to Lionel. The story of Terrence Yeeky was one of the first Fed slops that woke me up to the evils that exist. I was exactly 22 years old and 6 miles away from downtown that day. The blast knocked me off my feet. It's crazy. That's a crazy story that so many people are connected to that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Very generous. Bubba Baron, no deep dive yet on this super sus Tyler Boyer and Stacey Sheridan. You still have plans to? I remember hearing Tyler Boyer was linked to foreign intelligence. We don't want to say that word out loud. That's scary enough that we can't say that word out loud. Must be a big reason Tyler Boyer was demoted before the Doge effort. Christ is king. P.S. Extra gift for show 100. I'm so thankful for your great show. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very kind of you. Want to glorify God. I still have plenty of deep dives to do. In no particular order. Thank you, Bubba Baron. Love your show. This is my first membership. Excellent investigation. Opening statements. Great community. Love your heart for people. Truth for Charlie Kirk and the Lord. New sign looks great. Congrats, number 100. Christ is king. Yeah, I love this sign. I've been wanting to put it up. I've just been too lazy to get over there and do it. But I love that it's up there. Allegedly. Love the opening. It suits you. Also loved every minute of you and Lionel. Fantastic from start to finish. You compliment each other. Congrats on your 100th. Thank you. Very kind. I enjoyed being with Lionel. I hope we can do it again one day. Happy 100th. The new opening was fantastic. I love seeing you and Lionel Friday. The members show with Jesse was also great. I received Rome Sweet Home this week. Can't wait to crack it open. Christ is king indeed. Madeline, you're having a wonderful week. Sounds like your week is full. Never watched a podcast consistently until September. Love the show and appreciate everything you do, Baron. Love the yellow today. Bull butter yellow? Yeah, we got it. Thank you. Ad Fleet opening video is next level. Congrats on the big 100. Allegedly, on behalf of this high IQ outfit, I say thank you for all you do. Christ is king. Thank you. Christ is king indeed. Thank you, Baron. Chat, always had faith. Over the past few months, I've been drawn closer to faith. Here's how great God is. I've been thinking to myself, I wanted a cross necklace. Today, wife gave me cross necklace. That is cool, Winston. That's a really cool story. Philippians 4:13. That's a really cool story. You guys asked me the other day who my favorite saint was and caused me to start wearing a St. Thomas More medal. So we got that in common. I hope it's not explosive. Oh, gosh, that's a bad joke. Wow, excellent opening statement. Oklahoma City bombing was first attack I remember as a child. Us late 70s and 80s kids experienced a lot of pivotal attacks growing up. Yeah, Fed slop. We experienced a lot of Fed slop. Very my favorite. I seek the truth because my curiosity exceeds my desire to prove myself right. Don't believe everything you think. It's the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. I like listening and reading to dissenting opinions. Some people don't have it. Some people can't do it. They'll just accept whatever they hear. But I'm a big fan of those that can do it. Sorry, forgot about my spelling. Probably forgot to check my spelling. I meant, can I send you the important flock docs? I'm in WA, where they're available, and found a FARA for all of Utah through WA flock for the dates at UVU and more. Yeah, send me an email that says flock data, realbaronpodcast@gmail.com. realbaronpodcast@gmail.com. Where's my email? I'll put it up here for you. Yeah, here you go. I'll just throw the ticker up. Why is it not coming up? Yeah, I thought I would. I can't get it to come up. Hold, please. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. I'm having trouble. Nope, that's not what I meant to put. Hold on. Oh, gosh. I've been clicking too much. My computer's mad at me for clicking so much. Hold on. I got all this wrong stuff circling. Hold on. Anyway, go to realbaronpodcast@gmail.com. I'll take all this off in a minute. But yeah, send it to realbaronpodcast@gmail.com because right now there's too much going on. I've clicked too many times. And now it's not going to let me click comments because it's angry at me. Am I still on? I hope I am. I don't know. We'll find out. There we go. We're back. I don't know if I left you guys or not, but we're back. Let me see if I can get these banners off. And my computer's very angry right now. Hold on, guys. Did I crash? I don't know what you guys can see and what I can't. This is odd. As soon as I show Grandma's cross stitch, everything goes nuts. So I apologize if you guys are not watching right now. Or I apologize if you are watching and I look ridiculous because I can't get anything to do anything right now. Because everything I click causes everything to freeze. Hold on, let me see if anyone's texting. Oh, just lagging. Okay, I'm good. So let's let it lag a second and let it get caught up, and I'll go back. Well, you say I'm good, but I can't get anything to click. So I don't know if we're good or not because I'll just have to read the comments because I can't get them to show up. Can you explain how you use DMSO orally? No, I don't want to explain any more about DMSO. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I don't know anything about it. Let me let everything kind of go by here, and then I'll bring the comments back up. I don't know if we're back or not. I don't know what just happened. All right. So hopefully we're alive. I don't know what happened there. Okay. I apologize, guys. I don't have no idea what happened, but I just got out of the studio and got back in and things appear to be working again. So I appreciate you hanging tight with me. Hopefully that solved the problem, whatever it was. Thank you. Christ is King indeed. I don't know if it's going to work or not, though. We'll have to see. Is it going to come up? Yay! Congrats, Baron. Please say hello to my sister, Gail, in New Zealand. Oh, wait a minute. I've already read all these. Hold on. Let me get back to where I was. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. That was a weird moment. My StreamYard sent me a note that it was, I don't even remember what it said because I clicked out of it real quick. But it sent me a note saying something weird had gone on. So hopefully I can figure out where we are. If I missed your comments, I promise you I'm going to read them when I get back live. I think I was around here-ish. Oh, here we go. I think this is where I was. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. Sorry, I forgot to check my spelling. Okay, yeah, that's FlockDocs. So just send them there. Yeah, it's doing it again. I'm just going to read these instead of click on them. Congratulations on the 100th episode. May God continue to bless. I used to close my Facebook episode of reading God's word to others with "Remember Jesus loves you more." I got banned from their platform. I did not do what they claimed I did. Christ is King. That's tragic. That's tragic. You know what's one thing that's bad though when I did that? If someone has the Rumble, can you guys send those to me by text? Because I don't have. They crashed. Everything crashed. So I had to get out of the studio and I lost them all. So if you have those, that'd be great. Veronica, one time. Johnny, two times. I've always been so enthralled by the Oklahoma City event. Thank you. Have you ever seen Paul Weissapal, dead ringer for Timothy? Love y'all. Yes, I have seen Paul Weissapal. He is a dead ringer for Timothy McVeigh. I'm sorry that StreamYard is making it so I can't pull these up. So you just got to listen to me and enjoy. I have seen Paul Weissapal. He is a dead ringer. His voice sounds like it. But someone told me they have footage or pictures of Paul Weissapal when he was younger, and it can't possibly be Timothy McVeigh. And I don't know the answer to that. I don't know how that works, if that's really him or not. I was a sophomore at Ohio State when Oklahoma City happened, and the inconsistency was just gross at the time. Massive just trust sense. Christ is King indeed. I agree. Let me close out some of this other stuff. No. Thought maybe that might help, but it didn't. Love intro regarding Aiken flights. Yeah, we already did that one. Happy 100th episode. Happy, appreciate all you do. God bless. EK said we're raising our children here. Who does she mean? Can't be her and Charlie. Yeah, I saw that in her speech when she said we're raising our children here. I'm really weirded out by a lot of the things she says, because sometimes it's like he never existed, and sometimes it's like he still exists. And I'm like, is Jesse talking to her? You know? EK needs to walk out to Barbie Girl next time. Yeah, but that's an insult to Barbie. Live in Midwest City, MW City, Oklahoma. I don't know what that is. In 91, that shook the entire house enough to wake me up 15 miles away. My father-in-law worked at the hospital next to it. When viewed in person the next day, it appeared bowed out. The hospital or the building? Tell your dog I said hi. Okay, Alaska dog lady, very generous contribution, but she already thinks she's famous enough. I don't need to get carried away. Yo, Baron, love the program, but I'll be deeply disappointed if you fall for the limited hangout of UFO disclosure. I hope you find the truth. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. I will not fall for that. Not going to happen. When my bank asked for a secret answer to who my first super chat was, they'll already know it's today on Baron Coleman. Congrats on 100. Don't use that as your answer. You should choose answers that people don't know. How are you voting on the 21st? Live in VA and don't know what to make of changing the voting areas. Hate this admin and the alternatives. Hate it all. I'm not voting on the 21st because we don't vote on the 21st. We vote after that. We just started early voting this week, I think. So I think we're several weeks away from voting. 21st is 2 days. Staged. They are all wearing bright white T-shirts. Camera angle is not wide shot. With Trump, they had to pay for audience out of central casting. I wondered about that. They didn't look like they were aware of when they were supposed to clap and not. Like they weren't fully informed people in the audience. Listening to EK, it confirms I won't need to vote here for MX. Feliz 100th episode. I don't know what from. Oh, from Mexico. From Mexico. Feliz. Happy. In Espanol. Ben Shapiro is the donut. And it's even showing bare treads. Not NASCAR ready. Oh. That was my tire reference. Good call. I was very confused for a moment. Bubba Bear and that Butch Hibbs thing on Trump God doctor posters. I don't know what you're talking about. Butch Hibbs on it? Is that Butch Hibbs? Oh. No, I thought it was Jon Stewart. It looked like Jon Stewart in the bed. That the president was or Jesus was touching, that they doctored to look like the president. Looked like Jon Stewart to me. Fun fact, we only up talk on yes, no questions. Much love from a moose jockey with a new favorite mug. Congrats on 100s. Keep up the good work. Apparently, we're very famous with moose jockeys up in Canada. EK seems to think the angry eyes, performative speech pattern is effective. I loathe up talking. Also, nasal twang and vocal fry the younger generation uses. She always acts like she's lecturing a child. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. That's a pretty accurate one. All right, let me try to pull them up again and see what happens. Hey, we're back, baby. We're back. Let's see if I can get it off the screen. I'm still so into your gaslighting opening statement last week. I've ordered myself a Stop Gaslighting Me shirt. You're a true inspiration. Thank you. Talk about starting fights or dividing people. What does the red wall do? It's not inviting, especially to people who are riding the fence and tired. Yeah, not very unifying, I guess. Not going quietly, I see. Interesting how she puts terms into her late husband's mouth. Did CK really coin the term red wall? EK has become the Meghan Markle of the conservative movement. Is she that bad? Happy 100th. We have a gift for the community. Searchable database, the first 99 episodes pinned to our X account. Receipts Dep. Okay. Duly noted. You going to be adding every episode? That's fun. That's a fun tool. Let's just say it. Erika is the president's secret daughter. Are you just saying that or you believe that? No, surely not. Crisis King, congratulations on 100 episodes. Baron, thank you. Crisis King indeed. No, surely not. Not Lori. That's not a power suit. No, but it's powder blue. Close enough. Baron, congrats on the 100th episode extravaganza. May you be blessed. DJ T just showing he will dance for shekels anywhere and anytime. Old Glitter Bombs probably has the blackmail on him too. Okay. You think she's got blackmail on the president? I don't know about that. High IQ, what happens to feds if it's revealed during trial there was evidence tampering? Nothing. That's not a Fed issue. If all data comes out and we were right, I don't see how it's not exposed to some degree. Hannah. Banana. I get it. Yeah, I don't. I mean, you're not allowed to tamper with evidence. That's sure. Chat with NASA regarding product placement for next time we go circling the moon. I can see it now. The RBP mug floating through the fake spaceship right past the camera. Logo facing out. And right into the astronaut actor's hands. Ooh. Yeah, that'd be dope. I'm a fan. I am a fan. I got to stop drinking water. I'll never finish a show. I should have gone to the bathroom when everything crashed. Current division on the right is largely attributed to those who want the truth exposed and those who don't. If questioning divides, it's because there's something to hide. Yeah. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I learned a lot here. Jesus Christ is King. Indeed. Thank you. That's a high compliment. Happy 100th. Can't wait for new merch. Christ is King. Banana. Okay. Christ is King indeed. I don't know about the banana. I don't know about the running late, but new opening song is everything. It is indeed all. A big hello from Oklahoma. Your podcast is the only one my husband Chadrick agrees with and actually enjoys watching. Love your show. Truth will prevail. Christ is King indeed. Welcome, Chadrick. Sound like you got good taste. George Zinn claimed he shot Charlie. That's the only confession I've heard so far. The case seems weak. TR is being railroaded. Christ is King indeed. I hope the defense raises that issue if they try to bring in Tyler's confession. Say someone else already confessed. You're not charging him with murder. Got my shirts and cup. Love them. Could we get some pajama pants and T-shirts that say "Hope Please," possibly? Kind of kinky, Jennifer. I'm being honest. Christ is King indeed, but come on, keep it PG-13 at the most here. Christ is King indeed. Congrats on 100 episodes. Found you from the Google Trend videos and never left. Hit like, y'all. Please. Maybe he meant second set he got rid of, but weird he would change back into the original outfit to turn himself in. That is a little weird. I'll be honest. It's a little weird. Prediction, this is the judge's first case. He's going to get past the case PC hearing. They will not let this case go to trial, whether it's him taking him out or a coerced deal. I don't see the government going to trial. Is this the judge's first case? I know he's a recent appointee, but I figured he'd have other cases. Allegedly 100. Allegedly. Sherman, Texas hometown girl and first of one of Cousins' BF's FBI agent Cynthia Brown killed in bombing. She was a remarkable young woman. I'm assuming she was. TR attorney said there was drone footage. Yeah, that got past me. You're right. She did. Or he did. Thank you, Lex. Good Citizen by Ayame. It's about Charlie. Noted. Congrats on 100 episodes. I am 2-month-long grand jury member. Also, someone a few shows ago had a brilliant idea. You should sell RBP alarm clocks with your voice. Love the show. Christ is King. What would they say? Good morning. Wake up. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, this is not a dream. Wake up. Seriously. Out of bed. Up and at 'em. Get on your feet. Stop being lazy. The day's getting away from you. I could do that. Happy 100. Congratulations, sir. You, Candace, and many others are not just podcasts. It's the start of a movement happening in real time. Truth, so powerful. We all stand with you guys. True patriotism. Thank you. That's pretty incredible. Thank you. Baron and Mrs. Baron and Baron, Sis, and Daisy, happy 100th. You covered everyone. Thank you. OMG, Baron, thank you. EK speaking makes my skin crawl. EK doing speaking events is a train wreck. She'd be destroyed in an actual debate when the interviewer audience isn't pre-selected. She said they are raising their kids in Arizona. Yes, she did say that. Weird. King Lear reference came from Owen Benjamin when he was interviewed by Alex Jones. Then the reference spread all over the internet. Duly noted. CIA has Tuesday Morning Club where they meet to decide on final expellings for the week. Mitch Snow saw FH meeting on Tuesday morning, sent an email. I know. They have meetings to decide who's going to get dusted on Tuesdays? Why Tuesdays? I guess Tuesday's named after Mars, the god of war. Makes sense. If you're going to do it on any day, that's the day to do it. Congratulations on your 100th. We're all proud of you. I know that guy. We share our last name and half his DNA. Thank you. Appreciate that. You want to see what I look like when I get older? Right there. Charlie had an event in Colorado after UVU. The university said there's no planning for security at that event. Also, Kim Clement, Trump adoption. I don't know what Trump adoption means. I know who Kim Clement is. And we've covered the no security thing. Yeah. B Money. Theo Vaughn's dad was 70 when he had him too. Wild. Happy 100th episode to our humble host. That's right. He did say his dad was 70, didn't he? Forgot about that. You're the GOAT. Keep going, Max. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I disagree. Please have John A. Bray on the show. Christ is King. Have I had him on? I want to say I've had him on, or at least I talked to him. Did I have him on a show? I need to ask him. I honestly don't remember. I thought I did. I know I talked to him prepping for a show. I thought I was to have him on, but maybe not. Loved hearing you and Jesse together. You're both very talented broadcasters. I actually found Jesse before you, then discovered you just before or after Google Trends. Keep going. Thank you. I will absolutely do that. Emily Extina. This super chat in for you. It's for I don't give a damn because her PC is a must watch. Plus, my mama is a Hoosier from Lafayette. Thank you for all you do. And Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. I don't give a damn's amazing. Her podcast is great. After UVU event, Charlie was going to Colorado. University said there were no security collaborations that went on. Oh, I already read that, didn't I? Am I getting multiples now? I'm gonna do my best now to pull up the grumblers and see if it's gonna make the computer angry. I don't think it will. Hold, please. Yeah, they're not. There they are. They're not angry yet, but I've lost all of them. So yeah, if someone can send me those. The only grumbler one I have is from Mero0110. So if someone can send me everything before that, that would be great. Congratulations on 100 episodes. We love your high IQ outfit. I was looking forward to this Sunday episode. Have a great night. I'll do that. Rosa. Perhaps talking to you the next level has a different meaning than money, becoming a vessel for control and possession. Taking you. Oh, I'm sorry. Taking you. Yeah, maybe it's demon possession. Maybe that's what he didn't want. You considered that? Maybe that's what they meant by taking him to the next level. Hold on, I have one more thing I need to bring. Let's see if that makes it angry. Hopefully not. Do you know the caliber of foldable gun? Happy 100. Lots of calibers. They had a 300 blackout round. They had a 30-06. No, not a 30-06. 300 blackout, a 5.56, 7.62. There was one more. I can't remember what it was. I don't think 30-06 was among them, if I'm not mistaken. Congrats on 100. Prayers for you, Mrs. Coleman, and the kiddos. We could always use them. Happy 100th. Your intro had me dancing by the end. Wouldn't the medical examiner do a body x-ray to see where the bullet, if any, ended up? I thought MEs x-ray all bodies. I don't know. That's outside of my pay grade. I would assume if they thought there was a shot, why wouldn't you just do a quick x-ray? You at 100. Coach new arrival. Candace week off. Yeah, it's been a lot going on lately. Happy 100. Thanks for reminding us Jesus loves us every time. I try to remember it. I did forget. I didn't forget once. I cut it off early. It just like mid-sentence, I accidentally clicked the button. Hi, Baron. It's cousin Tina. Oh, yeah, my cousin Tina. Everyone knows cousin Tina. Congratulations on the 100th episode. Haven't missed episodes since I heard about you 7 months ago. Wishing you and your whole family all the best. Tina, thank you. Thank you. That's incredible dedication to a guy rambling on the air 16 hours a week. Thank you. So excited. We're spending our 21st wedding anniversary listening to our 100th episode. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. If CK isn't already cremated, how can we block it in case an independent autopsy is needed? Destroying evidence. So I saw Candace asked if he'd been cremated. I'm assuming she had a reason for asking. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow why she asked. I don't know why she said that. But it would be interesting if you can't examine the body. I would think in a criminal murder trial, they would prevent an autopsy, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Thank you, Edge. New intro is an absolute banger. Congrats, Crisis King. Crisis King, indeed. It is an absolute banger. I agree. Did you see Project Constitution's rundown today explaining that Tyler Boyer and EK are step cousins? Yes, and I vehemently disagree with it. And I told him as much by text. Couldn't disagree more. I see no evidence of it. I don't think it's correct. That's all I can say. I don't think it's right. Congrats on 100. Been watching since September 11th. Also, I don't generally like attorneys, but you seem like you would be fun to hang out with. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Tulip cake. I'm a barrel of laughs to hang out with. If I do say so myself. I don't know why you don't like attorneys, though. Are we mean? What do we do? Hello, King Baron and Jury. I wanted to ask for prayers for safety for my daughter and her school trip to D.C. next week. I'm so worried with what's going on in the world. No, it'll be fine, but it's scary. Thanks. Prayers indeed. What's your name? Cherise? Prayers indeed. I wouldn't worry about it. I had someone else, and I don't think it was you. Had someone else ask a comment about a kid going to DC and whether I thought that was a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. And I think it's a great trip. It's kind of like a rite of passage. Everybody goes to DC at some point. It's a beautiful town. And I think it's pretty safe right now, to be honest with you. I think they've cleaned up a lot of the crime. My great aunt was a Catholic nun, SSND. The name she took at her vow was Sister Mary Thomas Moore. She went on to be a teacher, principal, Crisis King. Crisis King indeed. That's a pretty cool story. That's a pretty cool story. There's a really cool, I don't know what you'd call it, facility in Coleman, Alabama, and all the nuns are buried in the chapel down below. And it's cool to look at their names. I think it's cool. It might bore other people, but it's cool to me. Happy 100 to you, Daisy and Casey. I think Oklahoma City was a big part of gaslighting, baby food, fed slop for our generation. We definitely need more trust but verify. I honestly think it was kind of like a 9/11 prep. I was like, well, what can we get away with? Can we pull this off? Let's see. But Baron, congrats on the 100th episode. Thank you for keeping it 100 times. Love this community. A new intro. Don't stop going, Max. No danger there. Christ is King. Lag reason. Someone trying to hack you from TPU allegedly. Yeah, it gave me a notice of to what was happening, but I don't know if it's important to share or not. But apparently there was a lot of requests at once. Can you please talk about the motions for sanctions that the defense lodged against the pros? What will that amount to? My grandma's cross stitch also on display. Thank you, Crisis King. That was huge in the 80s. Like people loved cross stitching back then. They don't do it anymore. It's a shame, man. Everywhere you go, everyone's house you go into, the women had those circles, the wood circles with the little screw on the top, and they would screw it down, and then they would sit there and they would watch their little like thing, and they'd be talking, watching TV, sitting by the fire, just cross stitching away. No one does that anymore. It should come back. We need to make it a comeback. Do like 3D cross stitches. Like do it like those things that you looked at in the mall back in the day, and you'd look at it and all of a sudden like an image would pop out at you. Wouldn't that be a cool cross stitch? Like you're looking like, what is that? Oh, it's a giraffe. Oh, watch out. The giraffe. Yeah, one of those. God bless you and your wife. Crisis King. Crisis King indeed. Thank you. Congratulations on your 100 show. You and your team are awesome. Thank you. You should leave your intro on all your episodes. Yeah, I don't know what that would do. I think I might leave it on this one just because it's cool. And I want people to hear it. Hey, from Alabama. We haven't seen the video of TR walking up the stairs, so we don't know that he was limping. Hey, all is just still photos. Well, we know he had his leg bent, so why was he limping? Like that's what I don't understand. Where was the gun when he was walking upstairs? My grandson has lots of questions about government cover-ups after enlisting in the military. I'm happy he is becoming more informed. Yeah, we need more informed people. No doubt about it. Congratulations on 100 shows. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. I've been watching since September. Lost my soulmate, my daughter's father. 2/9/26. It's been extremely hard. And your show is my comfort zone. Thank you for always being a humble host. Congrats on your 100th. Psyop slop. I didn't think I was going to say psyop slop before I said this. I am very sorry for that. That sounds devastating. And I'm sorry to hear you lost. Genuinely am. Love on that girl. Love on that. I was on site, Oklahoma City, 2 days after it happened. It was unbelievable to see in person, especially as a young teenager in high school. It was very hard to wrap my brain around what I had seen. I can only imagine. Like, people don't understand. Like, some countries, stuff blows up like that. Around here, it doesn't. It doesn't. So when it does, it's weird. Congrats on 100 following since Ian's shout out. Christ is King. All I want is you to be able to bump mics with Theo or Tucker on a pod. We will win this war against America that started in 1948 when ally. I would say yes to either one of them, and you guys would just miss me on those nights because I would not miss that opportunity. So that would be amazing, by the way. Theo would be a little more intimidating than Tucker, to be honest with you, because he's all over the place. Tucker has a topic, and that's what you're going to talk about. Like, we're going to talk about this. Theo would be like, so did you ever do drugs with your second grade teacher? Because I did. That was wild. Should have been there. I'd be like, no, I never did. My second grade teacher taught me how to spell. Please make your chair shrink down next time you crash out or when you sarcastically call out someone. I was watching it live when you almost hit your chin on the desk. Yeah, I kind of bounced up and the pneumatics gave way. And I started doing this number. I was like, That was funny. That was a good day. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me of a fun moment. Joining late, I'm loving the intro song. What a great job Adfleet did. Yeah, she did a fantastic job. Unbelievable. My daughter Mac and I watch your show every day. Watch your every show. She's recovering from wisdom tooth surgery. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for watching. We can't do it without you guys. OMG, she is the Meghan Markle of the conservative movement. I don't know enough about pop culture to understand that. I just know Meghan Markle's not well liked. That's all I know. I don't know enough to know about what that means. I just know she's not super well liked. Crockett. Thank you. I just got an important text about some coverage that's going to be breaking, I believe, tomorrow. What day our episode? Can I find where you were talking about us going to the moon being fake? I want to show my husband. He thinks it's real. Well, you're a member, so go watch my show with Jesse from Friday. That was a member show. We talked about it. I don't remember at what minute or whatever, but it was there. Please use this in my last super chat to buy yourself an office studio plant. It's no grounding, but there are still countless health benefits to houseplants. It'll be dead. I'll buy one, but it'll die. Can you get a plant for $5? Do I want a $5 plant? Will it look like a $5 plant? Will it look like Charlie Brown plant, like one little leaf off to the side? It's kind of droopy when I get it. I don't know what a plant called. First super, congrats on the 100th episode. I became a member to celebrate. I even got my hubby to watch your opening statement. Go Max. Ta-da! I hope you enjoyed it, hubby. Congrats on all your success. Your top level podcaster, proud to be a member. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are too kind tonight. Too kind. Congrats on 100 to you, Daisy and Casey. Oklahoma City feels like the baby. Oh, I already read that. No more trust but verify. Thank you. Happy 100th. Glad to be here for it. Always listening to your high IQ takes on things. These circumstances suck, but I'm glad for it to have brought this community together. Much love. Christ is king indeed. Indeed. Oh, please. Love my new mug. I'm 10 years sober today and proud to be part of this high IQ outfit. Congrats on 100. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. Ma'am? May I call you ma'am? Senora? Thank you for sharing 10 years with us. 10 years is a big anniversary. That's amazing. Thank you. That's very inspiring to those of us that are longing for that 10 year. I've been following since Ian shouted you out during Google Trends. Why am I going back through ones I've already done? Love the intro and opening statement. Happy 100th, Christ. I think that's maybe not. I haven't missed a live since. Amazing show with Lionel. Love the intro and opening statement. Happy 100th, Christ is King. I don't know if like the crash made me redo some of these. Long time High Q outfitter, first time super chat. Too bad we didn't have the limited hangout opening statement earlier. Great name for the members group. Congrats on 100. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. I wouldn't call our group a limited hangout. We're full of the truth here. Limited hangout involves omission and falsehoods. We're not doing that. What was it? Dave Ramsey always says, honey, we don't do that around here. His phone number, 1-800-TALKBAK. The C stands for credit, and honey, we don't do that around here. I always love that. If EK Twitter showed conditioning, why only one girl? Wouldn't there be many? Leave your narrative, just sus that not more proof. Also, EK birthday discrepancy due to date of birth versus adoption day. Happy 100. Christ is King, indeed. Brooke. Thank you, Brooke. I don't know why there's not more. Maybe it wasn't conditioning, but it sure looked like it to me. But maybe because other people haven't come forward. I don't know. As far as the birthday adoption date, we've covered that, and it very well could be. I don't know. King B? Yes. Wonder if the missing scientists have to do with NASA hoax. Congrats on 100 of this high IQ outfit. Love this movement. EK needs to be held accountable. Christ is King indeed. Yeah. The missing scientist is weird. We talked about that as well with Jesse. The missing scientist is very weird. The missing scientists are very weird. And there's something to it. I saw some text messages. Maybe I'll cover it tomorrow. I saw some text messages from one of them, and it made me even weirder. Sorry for my earlier typos. I'm driving. All's forgiven in love and podcasting. Every time you hit snooze, it says, hold please. Don't hit snooze. What are you doing? Don't hit snooze. Get up. Get up. When you have to go, get up. That 9 minutes is not going to do anything for you. Get up. Are you one of these people that sets like 5 alarms? You start waking up at 4 a.m. You don't have to get up till 5:30. Don't do that. You just ruined one more sleep cycle. You're just causing yourself to lose brain volume. Happy 100. I was a freshman in college in Waco, Texas, when the Branch Davidian thing popped off. I remember sitting in my car between classes listening to David Koresh's live rambling monologue they broadcast on local radio. That's a piece of history. That's a piece of history. Were you at Baylor, freshman in college? You don't look old enough to be a freshman in Baylor back then. Must have been a freshman in nursery school. Saving Grace, the various FBI, NCISs, and now CIA series, all propaganda to elicit trust. Oh, 100%. 100%. We covered that on an opening statement. King Baron's 100th episode of Elucidation of Reality. I have no merch, studio, format, or topic demands. Seems you got it covered. Opening song is perfectly original. Quick quack. We're back. Thank you. What a refreshing comment. No, not demanding I do something. When I see EK, I hear Adfleet's amazing song that was removed by this platform. It won't let me type the song name. Love your work, Adfleet. Love you, King Baron. Yeah, what's funny about that is I was going to play, Adfleet had on Twitter her song that we won't name about morbidity and deceased people. But we had that over her intro, and I was going to play that. And then I looked and saw that song was taken off YouTube, and I was like, I don't might be cutting it too close to the sun. Kim Clement also has a prophecy about a woman with fiery eyes, I believe, pertaining to politics. This prophecy about Trump was correct. Duly noted. Dude, what if Erika wasn't at the Georgia event because JD is doubt firing as Erika or vice versa? Yeah, could be. Could be. I doubt it, but could be. Very well could be. That would be wild if that's true. That would be wild. I love the alarm clock idea. You could probably make an app that does the same. We would all purchase Christ is King indeed. Maybe I'll get Ian to make one. He's like the app making king. Erika said Arizona is where we are raising our kids. Also, you said 10x the gun comes back. When the gun comes back. Kelly on Trigger said the gun is held yet in Quantico. Yeah, that's what I meant when it comes back. Because we don't have it yet. Happy 100th episode and love from Germany. Christ is King. I see your salute. Thank you. Happy 100. Been here since Ian and Google Trends. Please say hi to my mom, Leanne. Hi, Leanne. And my 8-year-old Kane. Kane, howdy. We're all huge fans. Can you tell Kane to pull his tooth? He won't listen to me. War, Darn Eagle, and Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. Kane, quit being that way. Just get it out of your head. Just, ding, it's gone. Take 2 seconds. Won't hurt at all. Congrats on 100. Laughed at the George W. story from college. We must know the same person, as I heard that story 20 years ago from Doug E. I think that story's going around, and I don't think I'm the only person to have told it. $100 to Baron on show number 100. So glad to be a member of this high IQ outfit. Your hard work on CK Investigation means more than you know. Thank you. Very kind, Tiff. Very, very kind. I appreciate it, and very generous contribution. Thank you. A few more bucks for reading my previous Taiwanese. Maybe at some point, the Jody Arias trial will work out for an opening statement. Parts of that case remind me of the info discovered during CK investigation. Do you still think CK wasn't shot? I do. I still think that. I do. And thank you. Just common sense of it. Common sensing it. Very kind. Very kind. Got 5 membos on the way to randos. Congrats on 100. Thank you. Thank you. Look up Vance Kirk 2028, 2 days after Charlie Kirk's passing. We've covered that numerous times, but thank you. Love your work. Manchester, Partington, UK. Received my whole please mugs. Looking forward to a brew in them. Yorkshire tea. Normally do not get too invested into much, but you're great. Christ is King. Have you ever played Sing Hosanna to the King of Kings? Christ is King indeed. I have not played that. But thank you. Very kind. I stitch an ornament every Christmas. Am I old? I mean, Edge. No, not even remotely old. That's nonsense. Thoughts on TR to plead guilty, so no trial. It's crossed my mind. Get him to plead to something. On your off days, I watch earlier episodes I missed, but then back then you didn't suspect EK's involvement. What was it that made you finally start to question her? I remember there was a defining moment where I was like, that's enough. I'm done with her. And I can't remember what it was. I had to go back and watch my old shows. There was something. I'm literally needle pointing while listening to every episode. Congrats on 100. Needle pointing lives. One day your grandchild will have this on his wall. Hear no evil, see no evil. Don't give a hoot. Hangs right there every day. Every day. Clip channel request, the segment a few months back about EK's eyes when she talks about Jesus. Good call. I don't spend nearly enough time getting the clip channel ready. I'm just busy. I need to spend more time on that. Baron Needlepoint Cross Stitch has made a huge comeback. I had no idea. I'd be happy to send you one that says, oh no, not the buccal swab. Congrats on 100. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. That would be hilarious. Thank you. John Bray's new research, CK wasn't killed by a bullet. I've been paying attention to John Bray. Hi, Cross Stitch. Happy 75th birthday to my dad. Apparently he's making a comeback. I was wrong about cross stitching, ladies and gentlemen. It's huge among the RBP audience. Huge. Happy 75th, old man. And I mean old man in the best way possible. I don't mean old. I mean like her dad. Need Merchant says, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Oklahoma Osage murders, FBI case, first case, 1930s. I have a book on that. I have a book on the murders. Showed screenshot of EK at the podium on Friday to my kids without context. My 4-year-old daughter said, she's a demon. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, Christ is King indeed. And congrats on 100. She's a demon. Well, that's crazy. Congrats on 100. Watching faithfully from Greenfield, Indiana. Christ is king, indeed. Lisa Mack, I've been to Greenfield, Indiana, many a times. Many a times. That's an amazing coinky-dink. Man, Greenfield, Indiana? Got 40 running through there, 70, got 9. Know all about Greenfield. Hancock Memorial Hospital? Yeah. Yeah. Home of the Greenfield Central High School Cougars? Yeah. Happy 100. Thanks for all you do and your team does every day. You look great for 46, allegedly. Remember, Jesus loves you. I remember. I hope you remember. It's my line. Congrats on 100. TR confessing reminds me of the new movie Law Abiding Citizen when Jay Fox questions G. Butler. He agreed and wished he did not confess. I think he actually confessed, though. Baron, please know you. I know you're busy, but I really need help. Been defending my property alone since 2022. I cannot find an attorney to help me. I got bad news. I will not be that attorney, but I wish you the best of luck. I wish you the best of luck. And I hate that you're in that position, but I'm retired. Thank you, Cheryl. Forever enjoy each and every live you've made since I started watching. Have to check back daily since for some odd reason I don't get any member subs. I don't get any, not even member subs anymore. Congrats on the 100 episodes. You don't get any notifications? You should. Look at them thumbs up. Oh, the likes. Where are we? Are you guys doing a good job? Oh, yeah. Nice. Maybe the song worked. Thank you, Adfleet, for including that line in there. Baron, I was raised in Washington. Foster care. Got on wrong path with wrong people. Became a drug addict at 14. 1985. Got clean 11 years ago, and finally found my path. You were on drugs from 1985 to 2015. That's 30 years. I'm glad you're feeling better. Congratulations. I'm LOLing at your EK Uptalk reenactment. I can't deal. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. Lost some super chats when you crashed. I celebrated 6 years sobriety with your 100th anniversary. Thank you for everything you do. Congratulations. I'll roll back and see if I can find some. I think I might have lost someone when we crashed because the number went way down. I see a number of total super chats and it went way down. Happy 100th Truth Podcast, Mr. Baron Columbo Coleman. But let me say, even the ones I don't get to because I have to skip for time, I read them all. After I get off, I go through and read them all. So don't think I'm ignoring you or I didn't see it. I do see them. And I'll do the same thing tonight. And it might take me longer to read them because I might have missed a big chunk there in the middle when it crashed. But I do read them all. Columbo. That's Colin called me Columbo. Coach Colin. Hi, Baron. Thank you for all your fam, Daisy and Daisy Do. Just want to update you. My husband is moving forward with the divorce and the new woman. I was baptized in the name of Jesus, April 12. I asked for prayers for my husband, Dylan, for his discernment, clarity, and wisdom. Please and thank you truly. Christ is King. I certainly will pray for you, Stephanie. I think that's your name. Stephanie. Absolutely pray for you and your husband as well, Dylan. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through that. That sounds really tough. Happy 100. If no plea before trial, no cameras for trial. Do you think that means the outcome has been decided already? No, but it doesn't instill a great deal of confidence. Doesn't instill confidence? High five. Thank you, just Jessica. I'm going to get that stuck in my head. I want to do a whole show in Uptalk. No, I can't. I don't want to sound like that. Just want to mention that last year I had a big fallout with Lionel online because he was mocking Candace and calling her crazy. Just keep it in mind. Well, he seems to have turned a corner. I am a forgiving person. Go Max. Congrats on 100 episodes. Thank you. What happened to my first super chat? I don't know. It may still be up there, but I'm going to have to go back and scroll and see if I can find them. Because when everything crashed, I think we might have lost a few. But I'll go looking. Hold please. Congrats here since you wore the ball caps. Oh, I did. I had a ball cap. I have one right here. I had a ball cap run there for a little while, and I would put these for those that weren't around. I would put these labels on them. The tape is worn off. But I would put these labels on them and do a whole show with my ball cap labeled. I had a BS detector. I still do. Just because I don't wear it every day doesn't mean I don't own it, and I don't up here. The hat was just indicative of it. What was the purpose of wearing hats for a certain period of time? I never figured it out. Can't believe Joe made the song. Are you sure Joe wasn't a plant? She's now famous. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. You're welcome. The purpose of ball caps, I had a terrible haircut. And so I thought, well, I don't want to come on air with that terrible haircut. So I'll wear a ball cap until it grows out a little bit. And then I'll have some fun with the ball cap. But now I miss it because I actually enjoyed those shows. Those were good shows. Baron, congrats on your 100th episode. My family and I love your show, content, and hard work you put into every episode. God bless you and your family. Thank you. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. I've been watching since 9 of 2025. That's when this series started with episode 1. Favorite podcaster, love the family that is created here. Congrats on the 100th episode. Jesus Christ is King of Kings. Indeed. Indeed. What happens if Tyler gets on stand and says he isn't even gay? Big fan of this high IQ outfit. Well, that would be wild. He's like, I don't know why everyone's saying that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. You know what I heard today? I heard Steve Bannon gets royalties from Seinfeld. Did you know that? Apparently he was very early on, like in the first couple of years, somehow invested in Seinfeld. Isn't that weird? That was weird to me. I truly believe every experience you've been through has prepared you for this right now and how grateful we are for this. I've talked about this. This is interesting, Pam. Like every single job I've had, every single setback, even setbacks where like things were not going our way in life. My wife and I've talked about this. Every single thing that's happened in my life seems to have prepared me for this show. And maybe that's the way the world works. And you take all your experiences and it builds you up and it makes you a stronger, better person. And it builds resilience and character and whatever, but I'm not bragging on myself, but I really think there's something to that. That every single thing seemed like preordained. You're going to go through this and it's going to hurt. You're going to go through this and it's going to hurt. You're going to go through this and it's going to hurt. But one day you'll see it all come together and you'll be thankful. And I am. My super chat got lost in the freeze, I think. Congrats on 100th. I crochet every single day. I've cross-stitched 2. Fiber Arts still lives. Maybe you'll get to my other chat. Hope it makes you giggle. I hope so. I hope I can go back and find them. I hope they're not lost forever. But let me say this on crocheting. My daughter's taking crocheting lessons, my 7-year-old. So they do live. The Fiber Arts, as you call them, still live. Congrats on 100th episode, Baron. Rapid fire questions. Do you like cruises? I mean, I've been on a couple. I don't know if I'd go on one right now. If you had to live in another one state. I don't know. I like where I live. I don't think I'd live anywhere else. I like it here. 2, country do you pick? What country would I don't want to live in any other country. I like it here. Beach or mountains? I don't like the beach, but I don't love the mountains. I'm telling you, this is not. I know you're so disappointed right now in my answer. Probably the beach, even though I don't really like the beach. Favorite saints? A big St. Thomas More fan. I like St. Damien. I think that's a great story. Favorite popes? Paul V, Benedict the 15th and 16th. I like John Paul II. These are all modern saints, popes, obviously. I know my super conservative Catholics are wanting me to say St. Pius XII or 10th or whatever he was. SSPX. So St. Pius X. I know they're dying for me to say that. Thank you. And hi, Harvey. Yes, Harvey's in. Harvey has made it. Waco, Texas. Here, I was in 6th grade when the Waco siege ended. My teacher brought a TV into the classroom so we could watch history live burning down. That's morbid. Not to be morbid, but that's morbid. But it's history. It's part of our history. I think you missed mine. It was pretty witty. Make sure to laugh later. I will. I'll see them all. I think my super chat got lost. Congrats on 100, Baron. Impatiently waiting for homeschool tier. LOL. God bless you and your beautiful family, and God bless the wonderful Daisy. Indeed, indeed. Congrats on 100th episode. You and your crew. All of you are the best. Thank you. Baron, happy 100. You taught me so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind. Very kind. This is long overdue. Thank your wife, your kids, your sister, Daisy, and definitely last but not least, Tilly. Yeah, she made an appearance today. She was barking in the background early on. Just thank you. Happy 100. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. Yeah, I'm going to scroll up in a minute and see if I can find those. Thank you, Dogwood. Baron, did you seriously not get the merch request for Mug saying, I don't know what that means? Grateful for you. Ashley from Laurel, Mississippi. Laurel, Mississippi. We're going to get some I don't know what that means merch going here. 2 a.m. here in Boston, Lincolnshire, England. Yes, the original one, Oklahoma false flag, was my breakthrough into becoming a truther. That's interesting. You were following that from England. While the geniuses at TP are trying to fix the uptalk, they should work on her limited vocabulary. That would be amazing. Congrats on 100. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. What happened to the screwdriver? Never hear about it anymore. That's interesting. It's a good point. They made a big deal about the screwdriver. Now no one wants to talk about it. Super chat lost in crash. Happy 100 to my. They may not be lost. I mean, they're not lost. They'll be in my log when I jump off. I just can't find them until I get off. Number one favorite humble podcast host. My aunt worked in the Murrah building. Thank God she was transferred to a different building for a temporary project 2 weeks prior. Sounds like a suspect. I'm just kidding. Your aunt probably had nothing to do with it. Probably. Probably. I can't guarantee it, though. An episode summarizing the Google Trends shows would be great. I'm working on it. Let me scroll back and see if I can find those super chats that were cooked. Let's see. I know all those. Tell your dog I said hi. I got that one. Bank secret answer. Yeah. Butch Hibbs. Got that one. Not a power suit. I remember that. Allegedly, Sherman, Texas. Okay, Cynthia Brown. I remember that one. That was before the crash, right? Yep. Nope. I see what happened. 658, 650. Yeah, we lost a big chunk right in the middle. I'm sorry. I will read them. I promise you I'll read them. I don't know where they went, though. That's weird. Let me check on our grumblers over here. Congratulations on 100th episode. Never miss a show. Oh, hold on. I got one pulled up. Thank you, Baron. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind of you. Wow. $100 super chat from my grumblers over here. Trace, thank you. Happy 100th, Baron. Love the opening as always. Our humble host, you rock. Thanks for making it real every day for us. I never sent a super to any other host. Keep going, Max, sir. Christ is King. Christ is King indeed. Let me check and see if someone texted me some grumblers. I got some here. Hey, this is what we have to do when everything crashes. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It's serious business. Happy 100. Christ is King. Thank you. Oh, no, that was when it crashed. Congrats to the highest IQ outfit on the internet. We love you. Baron, big thanks to our family for sharing you with us, but thanks to your family for sharing you with us. Keep on keeping on, good sir. Here's to the next 100 and beyond. Christ is King. 100th episode. Congrats, Baron. Thank you, A-Train. Baron. Great interview with Lionel. Your faithful grumblers were there to represent, hoping TR fires his defense and gets a new team. I don't know if I'm there yet. Please help me understand why the defense team cannot access ATF reports without the approval of the prosecution. Because they can't get them. They're coming from the feds. So there's some jurisdictional issues with issuing subpoenas to the feds, but beyond that, it's the prosecution's, it's the state's burden to get that and produce it. Please help me understand why I already read that. Can't they produce those reports themselves as defensible evidence? Happy 100. They don't have the gun. They don't have the bullets. The feds have all that. Congrats on 100, Baron. Thanks for your truth, time, and laughter. By the way, DMSO is amazing. That's his words, not mine. That's BY Gog. Christ is king indeed. Indeed, Christ is king indeed. I think I got a couple more here. First, message must have been deleted and freeze. Thoughts on why judge repeatedly stated importance of Erika's right to a speedy trial versus defense right to have forensic evidence. Erika more important to him. Yeah, so that's unique in Utah. Most states I'm aware of don't have the victim has a right to a speedy trial. So I guess that's something they have to weigh there. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Utah lawyer, so I've not come across that before. I can't imagine it overriding the federal right to a speedy trial, but once you start asking discovery, especially if you're asking for the delay, you're kind of forfeiting that for that time being. I forgot to ask, what one thing would you recommend doing while visiting Nashville? Let's bring back cross stitch. Congrats again on 100. Boy, I'm bad at that too. One thing while visiting Nashville, I'd go to the Ryman Auditorium. Try to take in a show there. That's just an experience you can't get anywhere else. It's the mother church of country music, but there's all kinds of stuff there. I've seen comedy shows. I've seen a couple comedy shows there. I saw Blues Traveler there. I've seen country shows there. It's a great venue. There's a parking deck right next door, easy in and out. The Ryman Auditorium is a national treasure, and I think it's unique to Nashville. There's nothing like it anywhere else. You sit in church pews. It's great. Tiger Woods got another DUI. Lion wouldn't drive under the influence, but a Tiger would. Yeah, that's what someone said earlier there. Oh, maybe it was you earlier, Harvey. Is it possible to still have a red wall, but be an anti-Zio war America First candidate elected in primaries and counter the infiltration? Happy 100. I would think that it's possible. Thank you, Tour of Dogs. EK wasn't heard, better to remain silent and thought a fool rather than to speak and remove all doubt. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool rather than speak and remain all doubt. Yes, that saying exists, and EK would do well to abide by that. Christ is king indeed. Yes, I was a funked addict. Like you listen to funk music? Oh, no, a functional addict for 30 years. Lost half my life. That's really sad. But I'm glad you're on the path. You're on a better path. I used to remanufacture Herman Miller office chairs. I could probably help you if you're interested. I'll send you an email. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. I think I'm just going to get another one. I appreciate it, Ashley, but I think I'm just going to get another one. This one's just, it's all worn in, all worn out. Happy 100th episode, Baron. May you have 100 more. I hope I have more than 100 more in me. By the way, my name is spelled out Esteban Exilvel. Esquivel. Esteban Esquivel. Got it. Thank you for helping with my Espanol. Yeah. I've always been amused by people who have like their 10th anniversary and they'll say, here's the 10 more. I'm like, oh, you getting divorced at 20 years? Like, why are you saying 10 more? Why don't you say like, here's the 80 more? You're kind of rooting against yourself at that point. Baron, 100 episodes is amazing. I can't believe we're already this many episodes in. Thank you for the time and energy you put into this. Also, my B means my bad. I don't think TR called LT his B. Oh, we don't know that. We don't know what kind of relationship they had. They might have been kinky. I'm going to be late, my B. Wait a minute. My B means Lance was waiting on him. My bad. I'm going to be late. Morgan Wallen packed Bryant-Denny Stadium last night. Over 70,000 people, and it rained. Talk about putting EK and the VP's crowd into perspective. Theo was on the jumbo pretending he was part of the stage crew. That's funny. That's actually funny. Bryant-Dennehy Stadium, it's nice of them to name Bryant-Dennehy Stadium after noted TV actor Brian Dennehy. That's a really nice thing that University of Alabama did. Bryant-Dennehy Stadium. Thank you, John, Just Common Sensing it, for pointing that out. Please do review of Google Trends. I need to do that. I'll pick a time. I don't want to do it right now because we got a bunch to cover in the next few shows, but I will soon do that. I think a review of Google Trends would go a long way. Get everybody up to speed on what happened. By the way, last member show, PLN Polish currency, zloty, is pronounced złote, meaning golden. Well, why does it have an L in it? Oh, it doesn't. It's got a weird letter that we don't have. Zwote. I'll have you fluent in Polish by the 200th episode. Yeah, good luck. That's a weird language. You got letters that aren't even real letters. Like, what is that second letter there? That's not a T. It's too low. Okay, you can only use real letters in your language. You're not allowed to use fake letters. Struggling to not relapse. Prayers would be appreciated. I love you all. Helga Shabalaba Ding Dong. Listen, look at me in the eyes. Right here. Right here. I need you right here. Helga, I need you right here. Don't do it, Helga. Don't do it. Keep your blood sugar up. Eat you some snacks. Get some good sleep. Stay hydrated. Take a walk. Don't do it, Helga. Seriously. You'll let me down. Don't let me down. Don't. Dig deep. It'll pass. B-Dog sent you a bill with a note from the heart. Love you, old man. A bill? Oh, Ivan, did I lose a super chat? I will find it. I promise you. I will find it. I'm so sorry it crashed. I can't help that. But thank you. Thank you. I will find it. And I will read it. I like you, Ivan. I love your studio, but I like you more. I like you more. Roll my eyes at Harvey. Uh-oh. Is that Donna? I hate to be the one to tell you what happened, Harvey. Please wish my sister Shannon a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Shannon. Carol, thanks for checking in. But Shannon, it's your day. Don't worry about Carol. It's your day. My first super chat also lost. It's not lost. I will read it. I promise. YouTube logs them all, but I can't get them until after the show. Look at prosecution's attorney, Chris Ballard. TMZ quote, blatant violation of Rule 3.6. Gag. He should be held in contempt. So tomorrow, we're going to cover that. I was going to cover it tonight, but I ran out of time. But the motion for sanctions is on my agenda, and I'm going to cover that. They are violating it left and right, and the judge should do something about it. And I think they're violating it because of the poll I showed. Only 64% of the people think he did it. And I mean, that's bad news bears if you're the prosecution. The bad news bears. Been here since 9:25. Very happy 100. And thank you. Thank you. That's very early. Deleted equal Nissy from Saturday. She shows Dan Flood's body language from a number of events. And one time I noticed a little flash on-off glasses are recording. Let's see that footage. Yeah, I want to see all their footage. They all had meta glasses on. Like half the team had meta glasses. David Irving on Churchill in World War II is worth a read. I do ask myself if our ancestors knew what it would be like today, would they have actually gone to war? Czar Baron. Oh, I'm a czar now. Best to you all in USA from Wales. So I used to have a bit I did on the radio. I don't know. I don't think I've done it on here. Maybe I have. Where I would act like I was rowing Washington across the Delaware. And I would bring up a news story from today. And it would be the guy rowing saying, are you sure it's worth it, General Washington? General Washington, are you sure it's worth it? Yeah, one day they're going to invade Iran. Sight unseen and risk World War III. You sure it's worth it? They're going to create nuclear weapons that could destroy the entire world. Now I'm over there just rowing the boat. And General Washington says, yeah, I think it's worth it. General Washington, one day they're going to have a 702 FISA bill, and they're going to read all of our correspondence, General Washington, and they're going to listen to our voices when no one knows they're listening, General Washington. Are you sure it's worth it? I don't know that it would have been worth it. I don't know. Looking back, I don't think this is what they wanted. Stop Nick Shirley Act. How would jurisdiction work with social media or election districts? Thoughts? I don't know anything about the bill, so I don't know. I don't know anything about that bill. Some kind of California assembly bill. I can't weigh in. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, and happy 100th episode, Baron. Love your show. Oh, yeah, thanks, Carol, for being an afterthought to your lovely sister's birthday. Thank you. Hey, Baron, congrats. Epic shows. I always stay up to get the live. It's 2:15 a.m. UK. Go steady, Baron. I hope you're not working tomorrow, Jitterbug. But it's okay. You'll be fine. This is better than sleep. My son, PD, paid for that super chat that got lost. Please read. We love you. Right hand, I promise you, I'm read every super chat. I'm going to read every one, and I apologize. I've not been able to show them and react. This is the first time we've ever had the show crash in the middle. It's never happened before. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to figure it out. It's a StreamYard issue. I want to talk to them. Ruby Ridge, his opening statement. I'm from Kalispell, Montana, where Randy and his daughters moved to. His daughter rents a storage unit from my parents. Kalispell, you say? There's a bunch of CIA people up there. I'm not sure they would want to be there. They did get a big settlement, though, didn't they? That's crazy. Cool connection to history. TR didn't prepare a final message or even a last will. Most killers don't go into these types of things thinking they will survive. Christ is king indeed. Well, he wrote the letter in case he didn't survive, but all he did was confess to it. He didn't say anything else. I did it. They didn't even really confess. Did you see Ted Cruz here? He says people saying Christ is king is anti-Semitic. He obviously doesn't know our Jesus, king of the Jews. Christ is king indeed. Christ is king indeed. People say that's anti-Semitic? How? It's just a statement of our faith. They nailed it on his head. Like it was nailed on a sign over his head. That's not anti. Stop it. Happy 100th. You're an inspiration. God bless you and your family. Love being part of this community. Going Max. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you as well. Thank you. Thank you. Happy 100th, Baron. Wishing you a wonderful celebration. Heartfelt thanks for all your hard work and being such a fantastic friend of Candace. Special shout out to Disney and AdFleet for your support. Disney? Who's Disney? But thank you, Disney. I sent an email at 8 LOL. By the way, YouTube didn't notify me of your live. Weird. Anyway, I'll rewatch later. Much love from your best Alaska supporter. Christ is king. Christ is king indeed. I hate you didn't get to watch live. You're my best Alaska supporter. It's official. The Baron is now the newest sandwich at Luke Casey's Beer Garden. Toasted sourdough with pastrami, German mustard, Wickles, pickles, Havarti cheese, and the thinnest red onions. That's amazing. I'm going to come eat there. I can't wait to show up. Memphis, right? Let me see where it is. Luke Casey's Beer Garden. Is it delicious? It sounds delicious. Made me hungry just listening to it. There it is. I see it. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, I'll be there. I can't wait. I even got a street view. I know what it looks like on the outside. Is it the red building? No. Where are you? Maybe it is the red building. I can't wait to come by there. I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, it's next to the red building. Yes. I'll be there. Count me in. Count me in. Man, that sounds good, doesn't it? German mustard, Wickles, pickles, Havarti cheese, and the thinnest red onions. I can't wait to eat it. I've never been so excited about anything in my life. First message was lost, but important. I work with several smart Gen Z who constantly uptalk. I instantly tune out. I pulled a few of them to the side and let them know no one outside of TikTok talks this way. It's crazy making. Yeah, they've got to stop. I mean, that's all I can say. They have to stop. You cannot get through life that way. There are, like, that's not going to be a thing. You're not going to be 75 going, oh, yeah? Should we go to church? Oh, wait, that's proper. Let's go to church. Then after church, let's go to the buffet. That sounds great. Granny, let's do it. We'll stop by, see the grandkids after we do that. Someone on Grumble asked what a Wickle pickle is. You guys not know what a Wickle is? Guys, only the greatest pickle in the history of mankind. They look like, oh, I should playing with sharing screens. They look like this. That's the original Wickle pickle right there. They got Wickle pickles, the original Wickle pickle, hula pickles, pickle chips, baby dills. Where's the relish? I love the relish. There it is, the Wickles relish. I had Wickles relish today. Wickles okra, also stellar. Had that before. I am shocked. I mean, you grumblers think you can just say stuff. No. I'm watching. I got my eyes on you. Dude, I don't want to live anywhere where they don't sell Wickles. I don't want to live anywhere where they don't sell Wickles. Mm-mm. Nope. I'm not. If your state doesn't have Wickles, go back to that one that asked me where I want to move if I don't move here, somewhere with Wickles. I don't know. I did not know those were regional. I thought that was a national thing. No idea. Quick quack, knick knack, paddywhack, give EK tone. Give EK tone. Mom watches them all, so we know you will. Happy 100. Thank you. Thank you. From earlier, Lost Super Chats, love Lionel Show, calling EK a prevaricator. Is it a Brady violation for FBI to hold back forensic evidence since they handled the evidence? Yeah, if it in any way could go towards exculpation or reduction or mitigation, yes, it would be a Brady violation. I wouldn't risk it with something like a rifle. I mean, particularly if they can't make a match. That is the definition of Brady. That is definitely mitigation at a bare minimum, if not exculpation. So yes, that would be a oh, I mean Daisy Baron. Oh, okay. Ask Candace about Crisis King being anti-Semitic. It was her saying it that shot off the whole anti-Semitic statement thing. I had no idea. Baby, it's 70. I guess Strom was taking Mike. Jim, you didn't get that one past me. I almost said it. You can't say that. 20 years of sobriety, April 17th. Congrats on 100 shows. Congrats, Lisa. 20 years of sobriety. I'm sure you feel amazing. My 20 years is coming in 16 and a half years. Told you she was rolling her eyes. I knew it. Harvey, I knew it. I took your word for it. Took the words from me, government put on his. Okay. Duly noted. Baron, you just told a whopper about the naming of Brian Dennehy Stadium. Things are so expensive these days, $90.99 for a whopper. Brian Dennehy's a fine name for a stadium. He played Coach Knight, Coach Bob Knight. He played in a TV movie. So there's nothing wrong with naming a stadium after Brian Dennehy. He's a great TV actor. He's a goat of TV actors. Love the intro, brother in Christ. Happy 100th. Thank you. I love the intro. Happy 100th. I'm a new 3-month dad. Any advice for me? Spoil the child. Spoil the child and have more. Have as many as you can have. Have a free-for-all. Birth your retirement. That way, when you're old, you guaranteed one of them will take care of you. That's the good thing. You don't know what money's going to be like, but people are people. Someone will take care of you. Yeah, that's my advice, man. Just don't get all hung up on people's advice. Just go with what works. Hold the baby, love the baby, spoil the baby. They're 4 months old, man. 3 months old. Spoil them. Anything you can get. Thank you guys. Thank you. I do apologize for the lost super chats. I promise you I'm headed right there. As soon as this show processes, I will read through them. I'll sit here until I've read the last one. I cannot do anything about StreamYard crashing. Hopefully it won't happen again. I'm going to reach out to them and figure out why it crashed, what that message meant. And if there's anything I did on my end, I don't believe it is. I did nothing different tonight than I normally do. I don't know if we had people trying to send too many. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. But I will get that solved. Maybe they had some hiccup on their end. But it should not happen again. It will not happen. Well, I can't say it won't happen again, but it should not happen again. But thank you guys. Thank you. You've made the last 100 shows the true joy and blessing of my life for the last 100 episodes. Sitting here has been unbelievably amazing. And I can't thank you enough. You've made this old washed up broadcaster happy. I never thought I would do this full time again. I did it for several years full time. I enjoyed it. I love broadcasting. I enjoy being behind a microphone. I enjoy talking with people. And you guys have made it unbelievable. You've created a community that just can't be replicated anywhere else. I sit in a lot of live chats, and they have good communities too. But I might be biased, but I feel like we just far and away have the best community out there. And it's you guys. Sharing victories, sharing pains, sharing struggles, like Helga Lega Bega Shing Dong, saying that she's fearing she'll relapse, pray for her. Yeah, that's what we do. We come together, we pray for people, we lift each other up. I don't believe she'll fail. I think the strength of this community will keep her pulling through, and that urge will subside, and she'll be back on the straight and narrow in no time. So it's a real testament to you guys. It's a real testament to this community. Our job is to just be a little better every day than we were yesterday. And if we keep doing that, we're going to be pretty good people, be a pretty good community. So thank you, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I did not intend, when I started doing the Google Trends in September, I did not intend to be sitting here 100 episodes in celebrating with, 16,149 people at the end of a show. But I am, and I can't. That's humbling, but thank you. This has been a true joy and blessing, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But don't forget. Don't you ever forget. Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful evening. I will be back tomorrow night, probably around 6:00 p.m., give or take, somewhere 6:30, 5:30, somewhere in there. And then I'll be back, probably take Tuesday off if I had to guess, but I'll be back soon. I'll be back soon after that. But tomorrow night, join me. I'll be here. I hope you make plans to tune in. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog. We'll all have a good time. Talk to you then. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you again for 100 wonderful episodes together. This has been amazing.